All right. Hey, everybody. What's going on, brother?
What's up?
Welcome to Behind the Lines. I am one of your hosts, Ronald Charles Harlow Jr.
I'm one of them.
Next to me is Robert Keeler, the other one.
That's me.
What are you doing, brother?
What's up?
Smiles everywhere. We can name them for the most part. Again, I did lose, a few items, but really a really solid week for the Behind the Lines prognosticators. All the way down to, let's say, you haven't heard of him yet, but you did Mark Walton, right?
Yeah.
Never heard of him. That's from all the food. I just shoved my dinner in 15 minutes to get to this show for you. So here we are.
Yep.
Mark Walton, running back. We're going to talk about him later. Certainly in the deep cut, somebody that we should at least
Very
be
deep.
putting on your waiver wire, someone that they might try to develop.
They got nothing to lose. Miami has nothing to lose.
But every other game.
Except every game,
Until
right.
someone loses two.
Yes.
Then they got a chance to win one.
Yep.
When someone has two wins, well, because that was ridiculous. What went well? Again, this is our dozenth show, 12
Wow.
shows.
Wow.
So welcome to show 12.
Wow.
We'll be here taking your questions. Call 720-33-MY-DAY, 720-33-MY-DAY. If you'd like to chime in, you may ask a question, and otherwise, we're always open to that. But what went right was a lot of things went right. And let's start with our wagers, since that's what a lot of people are betting on these days. Now my daily says I can do that online. Is it
Really?
everywhere you can bet on football now, not just fantasy. But I went 3-1 because I added an extra one. Really, it was his. Really, it was yours that I'm claiming because I put it up there. Was the tick? I caught a tick. I caught the under in the Houston again.
Yep.
Tupple, are you still here? All right. I was going to show you my ticket. It's on the fridge.
Wow.
3 bets, 3 winners.
Nice.
One, of course, Houston the under. Once Houston got up by 8, it was around 55. I'm like, I'm good. As long as there's no more scoring, and that's what happened.
That's good.
31-24, does that sound right?
Yep. That was the score.
And, just got under there. What else did my lock of the week, which I'm 3-0 on since we started doing that, was Dallas Jets over. Caught that on the last score as well. Again, it doesn't matter how you get there.
Doesn't matter how you get there.
And then, of course, I said the San Fran would win straight up, and they won easy.
Man, that was a go away.
But that wasn't one of my bets because you helped talk me off it, but I still stood by it. I got a little spot. I take your advice very seriously. I hope you know that.
No, I
went with when you give me an opportunity. This is the good one. When you give me an opportunity to bet on the Bengals, you know I'm going to do it. So I go, he said Cincinnati. If I can't put a bet on him now, I'm never going to. We took the Bengals plus 10.5 at the time.
Jeez.
2 minutes left, useless score cover.
Useless score cover.
That happens a lot, too, because they go, we don't really care if you score a touchdown.
Care.
Because we're just going to let you ease it down, keep
Use
you in the
the
middle
clock,
of the
keep
field,
the clock moving. But because if you saw that nowadays, nobody can recover an onside kick with the new rules.
I've not seen
it. You can't move before the ball is kicked. Like before, they would start to move, but they would work
run
back,
to it, right.
run, kick. Let's go get it. Now you can't do that anymore. I think there's been one successful onside kick maybe this year, and that's the percentage is so low. So people are like, score. You want an onside kick? You ain't gonna get it anyway. We're gonna win the game. Who cares?
We're going to go to yours in a moment, but I'm still on mine. My great week that I had, amazing, helped by him, of course. My one loser was Washington, Miami. Remember I said I jumped out on Washington?
Yep.
Well, I watched that last drive online. I got a feeling I'm going to get scooped here. They're going to at least go for the touchdown. Then they get the touchdown, and of course, right away, I'm like, there's no way they're going to kick the extra point and go to overtime because they just might win then.
Right.
Or tie. They don't want to tie.
And then you still had a chance to cover.
Yeah.
And then, of course, they go for 2 and over.
And that was they go, let it hit you in the chest and let it drop, and don't be anywhere close to the end zone. Be right at that 2-yard marker.
That's what happened.
Watch it, guys. I'm not saying some of this stuff isn't funky, but
yeah, they kind of called a play that really wasn't going to work.
I don't know why I'm coughing right now, but I did say I was going to take Scary Terry, was going to carry all of us. Scary Terry carried.
I put him in my lineup.
I was worried about it. First half, I'm like, this guy, I'm watching online. I go, not even a catch. And then, boom, first catch, 25-yard touchdown. Second catch, 30-yard touchdown.
Yep.
4 catches, 100 yards, 2 touchdowns, still ranked in the top. Guys, we talked about him enough that what I'm upset about, Robert, is I haven't gotten one thank you. Can you say thank you?
Oh, thank you, Ron.
Because you give me a lot, and that you have Scary now on one team because someone
Yeah, somebody dropped him.
Somebody's not watching the show.
Incoherently dropped him, and I definitely scooped him up.
Yeah, he's doing pretty good. Again,
Yeah.
tough test this week against those Niners.
Niners will look tough. I mean, they
But,
looked tough last week.
With the bye weeks, we got to roll with them. Maybe.
You got to put him in your lineup. I think he'll still catch some balls.
What I'll say though is that I've been paying bottom dollar for Scary Terry. This week he's more expensive, guys.
Wow.
He's equally priced as Larry Fitzgerald, and he's $100 more than DJ Chark.
Wow. So
Terry's
they're getting
coming,
wise.
baby.
They're getting wise to Terry.
Yeah, he's going to be
Wow.
expensive. We get to add a Rashard Penny in the jar because, again, his guy, Rashard Penny, didn't play.
Didn't even play.
But you have something positive to say about Carson. You can say it.
I told Ron that I watched a high percentage of that Cleveland game, and Chris Carson was running hard. He looked good.
He's trying to make
He
up for
looked good.
He wants to make up for the mistake. Of course he does. Nobody wants to drop the ball.
I mean, he was running the ball hard. He really looked good.
That's the Rashard Penny jar. This, of course, is the Cleveland Browns pizza jar, of which I never. This is yours. I suppose you get to put it in there if you really want to. Once there's 7 pieces of pizza in, that means that Cleveland did not win the over of over 9.5.
9.5.
They might not win another game.
Put that in there, Ron. There you go. What kind
So
of?
we have 4 pieces
I think
in
it's
there.
gonna be like a deep dish. It's gonna
Yeah.
be. I like that one we had in the first week.
Yeah, that could
I think
be
I might
there.
just go with that.
Or you could say, I want that pizza I had down in New Orleans,
That
and it
was
was
so
really
delicious.
good. So let's just take a quick drive. All on you,
9.5.
Was that correct? Like, thinking about it now, oh my gosh, the money. Can we still bet on it? It's probably, the odds are much less, I'm sure.
Jeez. Last week.
My gosh. They did not. That team's in disarray.
That team's in
And
bad
they
disarray.
They have like 28-3 or something. I mean,
There's people questioning they shouldn't take Mayfield. Maybe he's going to be the bust. They're turned on him like a, It very quickly, people have turned on. People don't realize it's hard to play quarterback.
It is.
It is very hard to play quarterback in the NFL. It's very hard to be successful at a young age playing quarterback. I'm not saying Mayfield's going to be a bust overall. He's still got a chance.
Plenty of time to get
He's going to
better.
have to change his game a little bit, but between the coach and the situation, it just had a recipe for if they go 7-9, 8-8, they're going to be very lucky.
Some notes from the week that we can talk about real quick. Jalen Ramsey, 3 picks.
Yeah.
Given up to go to the L.A. Rams.
Yeah.
Does this change the Rams? Because the Rams been a little civ. San Fran showed him who's boss with not a really good offense.
Because they put Talib on. They put the Rams had their 2 starting quarterbacks. They put Talib on the IR, and they traded the other starting quarterback Peters away.
Oh, so they might be just getting even.
And then they just get Ramsey back. It's kind of like most of the times these trades aren't. What's that? Most of the time these trades aren't very. For one player in the NFL, it's very hard to make this big impact,
especially on defense.
Especially on defense. I mean, everybody talks Khalil Mack is the exception because of the pass rush type situation. But as a cornerback, even if he's covering everybody, somebody got to cover the other side of the field. And the Rams just put Josh Johnson, their starting safety, on the IR, who's been playing pretty well. So, the Rams
be wary.
The Rams defense.
Let's give the Rams some serious due today because they're probably the team right now that has the most players drafted in fantasy, right?
Right.
Kicker D for sure.
Absolutely.
3 wideouts, Everett's in, 3 running backs now, and the quarterback. Let's talk about. We're going to move to waivers right now, though.
Yeah.
Oh wait, Tannehill in.
Tannehill's in for Tennessee. They've benched Mariota. They already announced he's going to start this week, and I think it's the end of the Mariota bandwagon, and unless Tannehill gets hurt, probably the rest of the year, you're not going to see Mariota.
Tannehill, Tennessee, or wager watch right there for later in the show.
Wager watch.
We got it. All right, waivers. Let's start again. I put these in
Okay.
general team position spots.
Okay.
But if I had the number one pick, I would probably take, if he's available, Jamal Williams. I
Yep.
guess.
Yeah.
He has some standalone value, I guess. Maybe.
And to me, well, I'll let you speak.
We'll talk about it. But let's. If I had the first pick, I'm going him. Maybe Latavius Murray.
Right.
And then Darrell Henderson.
I think
Always running backs.
I think Latavius Murray is probably,
The number
in
one
my opinion, a little higher because,
this week for sure.
especially this week and maybe long term.
Okay.
Because Kamara, if he's got the high ankle sprain, that ain't gonna go away real quick.
All right, well, let's start a quarterback. Of course, I should have him already on my team. Came out gang busted, knocked out America's team. Were you surprised at all? The New York Jets, I didn't predict they were going to do it this early, but you heard me say that Donald was way better. Way better.
Wow, yeah.
People are scrambling now, running after Robbie Anderson, who got dropped, who I picked
Yep.
up last week.
A lot of people. Crowder's been on the waiver list.
He's on my list, too.
Yep.
But, all right, so I say the quarterback right now, Sam Darnold, number one. The reason why, everybody's talking about it. The circle is they have the easiest passing schedule, whatever that means,
Whatever that means.
because we don't know. But you look at the teams they play after week 9, you go, all right, I see it.
Yep.
You see some crap there.
See
Some really bad teams. But no one, I think, in his position has more weapons around him.
Good weapons,
A
he's-
running game that you have to respect.
Yep.
Le'Veon Bell. Their defense certainly showed Dallas a little bit. They kept the ball.
They don't have a bad defense. We talked
don't.
about it in the preseason. They drafted a couple guys. They got this Adams is a great safety. The defense is not bad. It was not going to be bad, and they haven't really been bad while Darnold's been out. It's just they haven't had a quarterback.
Oh, yeah. Well, again,
You can't win in the NFL if you can't get a first down. You can't throw the ball.
we made fun of him quite a bit. Can we give Luke Falk one more blurb out of this and say, I'm sorry that this is this is how you get treated.
Sorry about that.
Right? They stuck you in there. They didn't even give you the first team reps. First
No.
chance they get, they pick up somebody off the street and they kick you to the curb.
Man.
Obviously didn't do great, but they didn't put you in a very
That
good
poor
position.
dude.
He wasn't very big either.
No, he's just a little wimpy little
Right, but you know what I
quarterback.
mean? I mean, at least keep them on the practice squad or something. You put them to the wolves.
You would have thought they would at least, like you said, kicked him to the 3, put him on the practice squad, said, okay,
At
go
least for
sit
the year,
over
say,
there.
"Thank you for
You
holding
know
the
our
clipboard."
offense, but you're not good.
See, if I'm him, I'm running out and telling all the plays to everybody else. I'm going right to the place. Very rude, I think. I don't know what the guy.
I'm surprised Bill Belichick hasn't signed him
Oh, right, of course. and then,
for a day.
And then yeah.
Got all the information from him and then told him, all right, here's your check. Get out of here, kid.
Robert is speaking my language right here when it comes to New England.
That's Bill Belichick.
That's what he does.
Yep.
All right, would you agree, Darnold first? All right, I said drop Daniel Jones last week and said I was okay. I didn't look ahead.
No, you
I
didn't
didn't
look ahead.
sadly.
Yeah.
Arizona this week, they're getting a wager watch, right? Maybe
And
wager watch.
Keys watch.
Okay, awesome. Great matchup. I think he's due for a regular game.
Oh,
All right,
he's going to get a regular
we
game.
got
Arizona,
we got
bad
some
at
guys
bad.
coming. Sterling Shepard, Darius Slayton. Does it matter? I think they're both
No, matter.
similar
They
talent.
said Ingram's practicing. Barkley's full
Is
practice.
that amazing? What a guy!
Here we go.
Some of these guys are superhuman. Again, Daniel Jones versus who do they play? Wait a minute,
Arizona.
Arizona. Why did I write Atlanta?
They're at home.
Garoppolo. I'm not a big fan long term. For one, it's a running team now and a defensive team, but it's versus Washington.
Yeah, he's
If
gonna,
you got to
he's-
play some,
He's going to get a couple touchdowns.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say you're not
I
getting
mean,
3. You're not
yeah.
getting 3.
Might not get
You
3.
You're going to get 2, baby.
You're going to get a couple touchdowns out of Garoppolo this week against Washington.
This is no way going to be a
Washington's
end-to-end action.
bad at defense.
And I got the guys. I'm telling you, they are. It is so slim. The only pickings there are from pickings from people that drafted players and dropped them. Right? There's really not
There's
a
some
lot
of that.
There's not
There's
a
some
lot
of that
new
going
names
on,
out
yeah.
there. Jamal Williams certainly got drafted. He's not available in either one of my leagues. Is he available in any
No,
of
he
yours?
got picked up.
Never got dropped in our league. So
Yeah.
Jamal Williams again. What did you think? Showed some. Do you think Aaron Jones? I mean, I doubt he's in the doghouse.
Well,
for
the
that
problem
missed
is
pass.
that
He missed that pass.
I've got Aaron Jones on my team, so I'm kind of like, but
He missed
he
that touchdown
has-
pass. What'd you do? Yeah,
I
you
went,
want them.
ah.
Ah,
I went, ah.
it was right in his belly too. But he's not a wide receiver. I mean, that's not his
He's
game.
not. I mean,
That was a tough to turn around and catch it.
the
He's
problem with Aaron Jones has always been, and same thing that happened when Mike McCarthy was running around. You could see he's the better back, but they just don't trust him completely. And
Well, maybe
and
with a little bit of reason.
And he he has those great games, and then he has games where you want to, scratch your
Jamal
head.
Williams is not a slug. I think that'd be part of it. He's
Draw-
not terrible.
and they don't want to, like they've said, they don't want to burn out Aaron Jones. They don't want to give him the ball 30 times a
but
game.
with what's going on with that wide receiver core, both of them could be good.
Right, and then especially this week, there's going to be a lot of dump off passes. I mean, Aaron Jones will still have a place in that offense, but then there's kind of this hot hand type thing. You could tell LaFleur, like, if the guy's doing well, we're going to keep him in. If this guy ain't doing so well, he's got to get out. And I knew when Aaron Jones fumbled and then he dropped the pass. Here comes Jamal Williams, and he's going to get like the rest of the touches for the half.
You know the game. The same thing happened to Chris Carson 4 weeks ago.
When you're
CJ Prosise got a big role in one game.
When you're not the high-paid running back, the stud, the Kamara,
the Zeke,
the Gurley,
you don't get a very long leash.
McCaffrey, you don't get a long leash. And,
you got that right.
And that's exactly what you see with Aaron Jones. But obviously, people, don't drop him.
Don't drop him.
Don't be stupid.
You could help me with this thing. Are you out of this list? You could tell me if you want Latavius Murray first. I have actually Chase Edmonds next. If you didn't get him last week, and I did get him in one league. I saw David Johnson played, and I still played him in a daily. Thank goodness. He still scored a touchdown. Still played decent.
They're playing the non-Atlanta D.
Right.
There was a lot of
that was part of the reason
non-tackling
that's
going
why
on.
I went with him. So
Absolutely.
He's a three-down back. David Johnson's not proven himself healthy. This is we all think Alexander Mattison's the top handcuff.
Right.
I say Chase Edmonds now number 2, maybe, unless we want to talk about it when we get to Malcolm Brown and Henderson in a minute. But I think Chase Edmonds is a good player on a good offense.
Yes.
You can do worse. Latavius Murray, I let him sit, thinking nothing's ever going to be wrong with Kamara. And I dropped him last week, believe it or not, for Kareem Hunt. And I know. Look at me. I'm desperate in running back in that league.
I don't know what to tell you right now.
2 more. I got to wait till
I don't know you, Ron.
I don't like him either. I had him when he was a rookie, obviously.
I'm not all bent out of shape because people about Kareem Hunt.
But he's on Cleveland. Though.
He's on Cleveland. He's not. I think.
Should I drop him or Phillip Rivers? Phillip Rivers is. I'll wait till we get to that
Well,
team.
we can talk about that.
Phillip Rivers is. He's gone.
Kareem Hunt, I think he's suspended 8 weeks. They got the bye on 9. He can't play till 10. I don't know. I would. I don't know if I would drop him for Murray.
Why. It was him or Dare Oblawale because he scored it. I don't know. We'll see. But all right, Latavius Murray.
Well,
he's got talent, but I think he's sort of he's a north and south. He's got no juke.
He's
offense not set for that.
He's not a big juke guy. I mean, he's not. But you don't know what they're being kind of coy with Kamara's injury.
Why would you?
Of course.
Because he is the team right now. Everything runs.
I've read one story. They said he might play this week against the Bears, and then I read he's got a high ankle sprain. It's going to be weeks and weeks before he's
healthy.
Could
linger for the whole season. Yeah.
So
both things I've heard.
You're getting
too.
a lot of things here. So, but I mean, obviously Murray tied to that offense is the key to it all. I mean, he might not have the wiggle or the speed he used to have, but.
Once Brees
you definitely
gets back,
want the guy in there.
He could be decent. He could get that Mark Ingram role maybe better once Brees gets back.
Right.
Although the offense has been doing too bad. I got to be honest with you. I'm so happy that I haven't even delved into the wagering on or off New Orleans because I would have been wrong.
Yeah, they
are crushing.
Well, Sean Payton has done an excellent
my
job
gosh.
keeping them winning. With Drew, if you would have told people. They would go, 4-0 without Drew Brees with Bridgewater at quarterback? Everybody would have said you're crazy.
They turned the mustache into the mullet.
Yeah, they went on the road and won at Jacksonville. That was a really impressive game. They dominated that game.
Yeah, oh, gosh.
Jacksonville kept trying to get the ball back, and New Orleans like, no, you're not getting the ball back. We're going to win. We're going to run out the clock. The score doesn't show it. They really beat down Jacksonville.
Yeah, they did. And
that's the thing.
We're going to talk about that when we get to that team because DJ Chark they doubled over a safety and might have changed the dynamic of that team. Next is the guy that was everybody's preseason darling. Remember I said I wasn't going to leave
Yeah, and he
the
was
draft unless I drafted
Yes,
Darrell Henderson.
yes.
Finally, he pops up.
That was the
These
guy we
guys
talked
that-
about. 5 to watch or something we had. What was our segment?
Yeah, right, exactly. Five
The
we're going to watch. He was
5 we're gonna
definitely in
watch.
there. He was definitely in there.
Yep.
Knowing that Gurley was probably going to get hurt, Malcolm Brown did not look great in his 10 carries for 40 yards. I guess not terrible. I guess.
Terrible.
But
He got the only 2 goal line carries, and then of course he
and
was
he didn't get in.
unsuccessful. But
And Darrell Henderson had
Harold
looked good. We don't
he
know
had
where
6
Gurley's at.
carries for 39 yards, and he had 1 catch. So he looked like he had a burst. He had a seam, a burst. He had a look. The first time I think the Rams they got caught in a buzzsaw.
Yeah, San Fran's the real deal, like we told you last
San
week.
Fran's the real deal.
All right, my deep cut. We could probably go for is Mark Walton because of him, and
Yeah, we talked about it.
Drake could get traded. He could dump.
Drake,
I mean, he could
yeah.
nobody likes to Drake.
He might get waived next week. Who knows what Miami's going to
Seriously,
do?
that's it. Again, look at this kid.
It's just terrible.
He's a decent sized
Yeah,
guy.
he's these size guys going to be playing on a bad team and got nothing to rewatching
If you get a chance, again, nobody's rewatching the Miami
Yeah.
Washington game. Might not even be on, but if you again, they was on the fantasy show I watch on TV.
Yep.
They showed every run that he had. I go, that's a
He
shifty
doesn't
move.
look. Yeah, he
looked
looks.
like. I mean, he had
he
some
looks
juke
like
in
a
there.
decent running back. I mean,
Like you said, I think
and
he's good.
and the coaches like him, and they don't like the Drake. Hate the
Don't
Drake.
like Drake. They hate the Drake.
Hate the Drake.
Balazs-
So why not? They're going to play him.
Of course, Balazs stole the goal line, but
Yeah,
that's
Balazs
going
stole
to
the
happen
goal
when you're
line.
big and fat.
Yeah.
Wide receivers, I of course never dropped him. Some people are saying 60. How is Robbie Anderson only on 63% of rosters?
I don't understand
Crowder,
that.
I picked him up, so of course get him. I
Right,
never
absolutely.
dropped Crowder. Crowder again, another 9 for 96 or something, 86 last week.
6 catches at 98 yards,
I was
9
close.
targets.
Right?
He's getting 9 to 10, 11, 12 targets every time Darnold plays.
We talked about it again. I am the Darnold guy. I am the Jets guy.
You
Remember,
like the Jets.
one of my
You
preseason
love the
bets
Jets.
that I said was if you remember,
Yep.
once I started buying into your Mayfield thing, which I did over time, which I am willing to do in real life, I said Darnold was going to come and right.
Yeah.
I said Darnold was going to come and show Baker Mayfield his lunch.
Yep.
And
You said Darnold would outperform Mayfield. And,
he looks the part.
He's
more to me.
going to.
He looks like a beast to me. I like
oh,
Darnold.
he looks good. He's solid. Squares up. He's
I'm gonna start
accurate
playing
with
him.
the ball. He's a leader. He's like you said, he's got really good weapons with
Right.
New York. I mean,
Three good wideouts and a tight end. Demaryius Thomas looks terrible.
Soft schedule going down the stretch.
I'd get all those
A lot
guys.
of good things there.
I'm getting scared if I get Darnold on this one league. I'll have Darnold, Herndon, Robbie Anderson, and Crowder all on the same team. That sounds like a recipe for disaster.
Did you get Wesley Walker too?
Yeah.
Haltoon, Johnny Lamb Jones. Who else do you got?
Oh gosh.
Johnny Lamb Jones.
Is it what's his name?
Wesley Walker could only see out of one eye.
That's talent.
That was crazy.
That's talent.
Good old number 85. He had one bad eye.
Throw it to my left side, will you?
Oh,
I'll
Wesley
catch
Walker.
That's awesome. You're great at going deep cutting.
Sorry.
I love it. No, not sorry.
Okay.
This guy we were talking about for a few weeks. Hey, we saw him emerge a little bit when John Ross went down. Auden Tate,
No doubt.
another
No
double-digit
doubt.
round.
The guy had 12 targets last week.
12 targets, right?
He
Exactly.
caught 5 catches for 91. You know, that dude's 6'5". I looked it up. He's 6'5",
He looks it.
228.
He's definitely huge.
He's a big dude.
I
I didn't realize how big he was.
I think he's going to play at least till A.J.
Oh.
Green gets back.
Without a doubt. And Ross is out for how long? I think it'll be Tate and Green playing.
Do you remember Ramsey gone, Jacksonville's
Yeah.
defense, not that big a deal these days.
Yeah, Tate's it should be on people's rosters.
Dante Pettis, I say that only because Debo Samuel's got a bit of he's got a groin himself.
He does.
Debo Samuel. I'm not big on
Yeah.
San Fran long term, but again, who do they play at Washington?
They do.
Kittle can't catch them all.
They can't
So,
catch them all.
if
Pettis
that's-
had what 5 catches
It's
last
as-
week.
it's as deep
He
a cut
finally
as
looked
you
like
want.
he looked like he was out of the doghouse a little bit, and he was a preseason darling.
He was.
So
He's worth.
he's worth a deep cut.
that team's defense is going to
Yeah.
keep that offense on the field quite a bit.
Yep.
Let's just say that.
Yep.
Next, my train of Darnold continues with Demaryius Thomas. I think I have the entire lineup here.
That's a
What do we
little deep.
got? I know we're going deep. I'm with you. He did have a decent game. We're
Yeah.
talking darts this week. Darius Slayton next, already on a team in one of my leagues. How about
Wow.
that?
Yeah,
we
some-
talked
I
about
don't
him
think-
as being the one standing alive guy.
We staying alive.
If Shepard doesn't play,
Yep.
viable play certainly this
He's
week.
definitely a viable play.
All right, super duper deep cut, 6'5", 225, Alan Lazard from the Green Bay Packers. What a great story I heard today.
Oh, yeah.
Practice squad, right?
Yep.
Caught his first catch in this game. During the game, Green Bay's losing.
Yep.
They're dropping passes.
They're looking
it's not
bad.
going right. They're not going well. Did you hear this? Aaron Rodgers goes to the sideline and tells the coach, get this Lazard back on the field.
Yep. Told him to get back in the game. Yep. He goes, I know him. I practice with him, and he's better than what's going on out here. Get him out here.
Check this guy out. 6'5", 225.
Big guy. Big guy.
I don't see Devontae Adams playing this week yet.
I think it'll be another week. He's not
MVS
practicing yet.
MVS got shook up hard.
He got a little
He missed
concussed.
about a third of the game.
Yeah, he got a little.
Allison hurt late.
Ellison got hurt late.
Jimmy Graham blows. This is the guy. I mean, he might, out of all these guys I mentioned, since we've only had that little snippet, he might be the best guy out of all these guys yet.
Yep.
I don't know yet.
He might have
But I like him.
the biggest opportunity with Rodgers.
I like him. All right, tight ends. Guess who my first tight end is? Chris Herndon.
Herndon.
Have you been waiting this long?
We're
Why
waiting
not
so
wait?
long.
I've been
Waiting for the hammy, waiting for him.
He's going to sit out another week probably. I'm dropping Vance McDonald in the league, by the way, which I don't think you'll be upset with.
God, that guy.
He's done. Well, I can't wait for Mason Rudolph
but
either. I can't wait.
They just, I don't know. They're whatever confidence they had in McDonald, they've lost. He plays about half the snaps.
Yeah.
They play that the dude they traded for, Nick Vanette. They play him half and half. How much lack of confidence do they have to have in you that they're playing some dude that they traded for?
Right. Herndon's got talent.
He's got talent.
Again, you're muddled with a bunch of guys there, but if you're tight end, I watched a great video today with there's 7 tight ends and Disley was one of them. So now we got 6.
Yeah, look at what happened with Disley.
Right? That hurts.
That was a non-contact. He just caught his foot and
it's crazy. It's crazy how people
every year
can rise and fall so fast in this
every
game.
year the tight ends fall.
So it's such a tough spot. Now I got Knox again. Knox got the matchup versus Miami. Josh Allen coming back. Of course, the 1 week I played him, he had 12 yards. Like 50-50. He had the year before. Keeler's Keys update then. That's good to know. And then I've got Noah Fant. We're still begging, guys. And then Darren Fells.
Yeah,
it's Fells and Atkins, so I don't even together they're probably not one good player. But that's where we're at with tight ends, guys.
It's bad.
Trade for one. I'm not kidding you. I'm going to go Terry McLaurin. Try for Darren the Waller.
Wow.
I know.
Wow.
I'm sick deep.
Well, I think that's a solid trade. I mean, you're giving up. It depends what other tight end the guy got.
Mark Andrews, so he's.
Oh yeah, he's probably looking to get some value for Waller. That's a good trade.
I hope so. I hope he goes for. I'll give him Samuel. I'll give him D.D. Westbrook. I'll give him Robert Woods, maybe. But this is a team, guys. Again, Michael Gallup's my number 6, so we're good there. I just got to get through my Godwin Samuel this week. Then I know I'm going to be good for my buy. So that trade I'll probably hopefully talk about next week. Any tight end love out there you got going? Who's your tight ends in your league?
I got Waller. And I back him up with O.J. Howard. I'm still hoping.
We're all hoping.
I'm
There's
hoping
a lot of people hoping.
I'm hoping for something.
He's
the ultimate tease. He's a physical specimen.
I would, if he can't catch it, I'm making him a linebacker or something.
Oh my
I'm not
God.
kidding you. That guy is an absolute. He should play both sides of something.
I actually got O.J. Howard in both leagues.
Okay.
But they said that maybe after the bye week they'll figure some things out with him. If he doesn't do anything, somebody just waived Jared Cook.
By the way, you've been.
And I'm thinking about picking up Jared Cook for Howard.
I picked him and played him this week. Thank you. You gave
him
a
touchdown. That was one of our keys. Yeah.
He's available. He's available in my other league. But
Breeze is coming back.
He got his touchdown.
Breeze is coming back. So I might drop Howard for Cooks. I'm not sure yet. I haven't thought about that. And I got that Hawkinson, the kid from
TJ.
Detroit who dropped a touchdown on Monday night.
You had a couple of drops.
But
it happens.
you could see his participation in the offense. He's part of the Detroit threesome. They got Marvin Jones, Galladay, and him.
Man,
so
that team's looking not too bad offensively. I love the play action and the flea flicker to right to start.
that was a good
That
play.
was a fun game. I'm starting to like the Detroit just by to watch the game a little more. That's for sure. That's all I have for my.
That's all I got.
There's not much way.
Yeah.
No to Jerron Brown. No to Brandon Bolden. This is me. Go get him if you want. No to Rex Burkhead. No to who's the other wideouts that we're talking about this? There's a bunch of them that I was like, I'm stopping here.
Yeah, I'm not big on those
They
guys.
always bring up the snaps counts for every wide receiver in Arizona every week, by the way. And they're like 40, 50. I go, the guy only caught 2 catches. Like, who cares if he's in the game?
Yeah.
Well, you can go this guy or that guy or the Bird or Johnson. I'm like, if they're not catching the pass, I don't care if they're out in the field or not. All right, the next part is our most important part of the show, where you get an opportunity to find out some key players from this week, something we call Keeler's Keys, named after our host, Robert Keys Keeler. We were going to find 2 players at each position who are either, like, I like it lately. We've sort of morphed into underrated on the, what do you call it, the rankings.
Right.
And so obviously going to be cheaper and daily,
Right.
but guys that are going to exceed their output on an average basis based on opportunity or matchup.
Right. And we're talking about the rankings. You know, all the geniuses out there every week put out their little rankings. Oh, this is where we think everybody should be ranked for the week, and they're always wrong. So I'm out thinking their rankings.
And doing a good job of it.
I hope so.
Like a really good job.
I think we're finding some things
let's
going
think
on.
about last week.
Yeah. I had Carlos Hyde and Duke, which I said Houston would have to run the ball, keep the time of possession to beat Kansas City, and what did they do? 39 minutes of time possession. If you played Hyde or Duke Johnson, you got value. They both scored touchdowns. They both had catches. They both had yards. They're both well worth playing at running back.
Who was your quarterbacks? Remember?
We had.
I'm sorry. I should keep this right here.
I know. I had it in my other
And
notebook.
I played them everywhere, so I did all right.
Oh, yeah. I had.
Kirk Cousins, wasn't it?
I think I had Kirk Cousins and I had Bridgewater,
Right?
which he did all right.
But Cousins said,
Good Cousins did his thing.
monster.
And this week especially, I'm starting to really, now that we've had patterns with teams and team defenses, now I'm patterning.
Patternering.
That's
You're doing a pattern.
That's a tough word for me.
You're
I'm making my picks based on how defenses are ranked and what they're allowing. At this point, we've seen enough. We've got some film. We've got some stats. We know what teams now. You can't say, well, it was a 1 week thing, a 2 week thing. We've got a pattern going.
Which is why I think we're going to continue to do better betting wise too.
Right.
Because we have more
You're
knowledge.
going to see more knowledge. And now you can play the matchups against these defenses because you've seen what they're capable of. And you're going to see when I talk about these players. So, dum-dum.
This is where I get my pen out too. So get your pen and pad.
Once again, we got to keep. I don't understand the non-love of Kirk Cousins.
Oh, my God.
He's the 19th ranked quarterback this week. 19th. There's 19 other quarterbacks.
After throwing up a 30 bomb.
2 weeks in a row. 2 weeks ago, 306, 2 touchdowns. Last week, 333, 4 touchdowns.
1 pick. Not bad.
He's playing Detroit. Now, everybody's all gaga. Detroit should be 5-0 if it wasn't for 2 plays. Blah, 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 blah. It's all a lot of talk and a lot of rhetoric. But nobody's looking at stats. You got to look into things. What Detroit has the 28th ranked pass defense, allowing 280 a game. They're not that good against the pass. They might be a little better against the run. They've been playing decently overall as a team, but as a fantasy point of view, they're allowing 280 yards on average a game passing. Kirk Cousins, the last 2 games, has hit the 300 mark. You do the math. Should he be the 19th ranked quarterback? No. But everybody says Detroit's pretty good, so we got to lower Kirk Cousins' ranking. Don't listen to that.
Because Aaron Rodgers didn't have anybody standing on
Right.
the field to throw to.
Right.
They didn't even think of that.
Right. So look at the stats. Detroit's not that good against the pass. You want
I love it.
and you want a quarterback playing against a team that's not good against the pass.
Certainly.
And that'll go right into our next pick, Daniel Jones.
Hey.
He's been kind of off and on. Danny Dimes came out all gunning, slinging, and everybody was excited. But he's thrown a touchdown in every game he's played. If you look, he's ranked number 15 this week. He should probably be in the top 10. He's playing Arizona. Now let's talk about Arizona's pass defense.
Stat time.
It's a little stat time. They're allowed 281 average passing yards per game, which is 30th. They're averaging allowing 2.7 touchdown passes per game, Arizona.
That's hard to do.
That is extremely hard to do.
Wow.
So it almost guarantees Daniel Jones is going to throw at least 2 touchdowns this week, if not 3.
It also almost guarantees that Arizona's going to be in a game where any over isn't over enough.
That's
Maybe
we're looking at that.
Look at 48.5.
48.
It went down.
It went down a
We'll get
little.
to it.
Barkley's going to play. It'll help. Barkley and Ingram are going to probably play. It's going to help Daniel Jones. And Arizona's allowed the most fantasy points to quarterbacks for the year. Every quarterback who plays Arizona has a spectacular 300-yard, at least 2 to 3 touchdown game. Daniel Jones should be inside the top 10.
Absolutely. I love it. I have him in both leagues. Go
Amen.
get him, Dime.
Time to think about that. All right, running back.
backs.
We'll move on to running back. A guy who practiced fully this week. He's back, baby.
Uh-oh.
Devin Singletary from Buffalo.
Yes. I've been waiting.
He's playing Miami. Right? They have him ranked as the 36th best running back.
I did read a spot real quick that said,
My gosh.
I saw they didn't even talk about the matchup. It didn't even matter then. They said, Devin Singletary's healthy. Get him back in your lineup.
Of
And they didn't even
course.
wait. They said, don't even wait to look. Get him
You
in.
shouldn't even look. He's healthy. He's ranked 36th. That's insane to me.
I think both of his touchdowns were touchdown catches, I
Yep.
believe. So that's an extra point.
So he's playing Miami. Now
I
it's,
have him.
it's
That's
that
why
time again.
That's it.
These are the things you got to be looking at. These are the things you'll look at and go, that makes sense. Miami is the 31st ranked run defense. 170 yards a game they allow.
Oh my gosh.
You run the ball against Miami. And Singletary, and you got Hyde, but Singletary's going to get his. Miami's allowed 9 total touchdowns of running backs. Somebody's score touchdowns, if not both are going to score touchdowns. They allow the second most points to fantasy running backs. I don't understand why Singletary's ranked 36, but if I had Singletary, I'm putting him in my lineup.
I might just do that.
Another guy, a little sneaky pick for my taste. Guy I looked at and I thought, he's going to be in an interesting game on the road.
I like the
Philadelphia, Mike Sanders.
idea. Oh,
He had
you're picking all my guys.
3 catch. I didn't know he
I
was
love
on your
it.
team,
Wow.
Ron, but that's good.
32-yard touchdown
32
catch.
yards,
Wide open.
3 catches for 86 yards last week. He's really getting a lot of work as the catching back in that Howard Sanders thing.
Combo.
If you looked at him, they got him ranked as 29th ranked running back this week. So they're saying he's not even RB2. I think he's an RB2. I think the Dallas-Philly game's going to be a little bit of a track meet. And to me, he's definitely a play in that matchup.
Can I throw in a stat time?
Go ahead.
If I say you're supposed to back me up now, is it okay?
Stat time.
Stat time. All right, yes.
I
Now
got
you're
it.
getting me.
All right.
He came up with this. I think it's beautiful, though. On the year,
Yes.
Mike Sanders, 199 rushing yards, 216 receiving yards. He's almost
His value
James
goes,
White
yeah.
kind of. He's almost a James White guy now.
He's definitely got a value as a receiver.
His handoff, I've not seen him bust one in the regular season.
No.
He just sort of danced and go this way. But they're saying the linebackers and the safety can't catch up with him if he goes
Yep.
down the seam.
Yep.
I could see another touchdown catch this
I
week.
could see
I have
definitely
them
a
both on the
touchdown.
same team, Robert. Who do I play, Devin Singletary or Mike Sanders?
I'd play Singletary
Okay,
first
I think
because
so.
there's just too much.
There's too much to be had.
Nobody on Miami can tackle. At least Dallas got some, decent defensive
And
players.
since he's young, he could be a garbage time guy.
Miami
too.
has no run defensive player that's in like the top 100. Literally nobody can tackle anybody. That's why they can allow 170 yards of rushing a game.
That's amazing.
You definitely have to put Singletary in if you have him. Definite.
I love it. I want him in.
Wide receiver guy we talked about 30. This gets back to New England bias. Everybody, just because you're playing New England doesn't mean the end of the world has come.
Right.
And you can't play anybody in fantasy football. James Crowder is the 35th ranked wide receiver. 35th. With his volume, you know, he had 9 targets. The last game that he played with Darnold, he had 12 targets, 6 catches, 98 yards. I mean, come on. You're going to play Crowder. He's going to get his over the middle. New England's not going to stop everybody every play. Everybody acts like New England, you know, who have they really played? It's going to be a big test to play the Jets because the Jets are going to be the first team that had healthy weapons and a decent quarterback, and they're going to be on the road.
And Herndon probably another week out, so the underneath pass is probably
all that stuff's Crowder. They're going to target him left and right and have Anderson stretch the field a little bit.
Who had him when he was so great that one year in Washington?
Oh yeah,
that's why I have a little. You
got an affection. You have an
Jamison
affection
Crowder.
for him.
I do. But remember he got crunched though, like midseason.
He did get crunched.
Well,
he goes over the middle.
Yeah,
he goes over the middle.
Gets hit.
So, you know, this gets back to whoever makes these rankings and are geniuses. When they're playing New England, I got to drop this guy 10 spots because New England showed up. Well, let's slow down.
New England's played really nobody.
Let's slow down a little bit. You know, this guy should not be the 35th ranked wide receiver.
The one team, right, New England played Buffalo, and Buffalo only give up 16 points. So
Buffalo gave him a pretty good game. I think
Real
Jets are going to give him a pretty good game.
I love to hear it.
Wager alert too.
Oh,
all right, with the Jets. New
like
England.
it.
All right, the other receiver we talked about, number 38, Auden Tate.
Wow.
Against Jacksonville?
Yeah.
I don't understand. He's 38th ranked. All the targets he's getting.
You get these cheap guys.
These guys should be up inside the top 25. These guys shouldn't be so far down. Everybody thinks, once again, we've talked about it time and again, everybody thinks Jacksonville's defense is some great thing that came out of the Loch Ness monster.
Ramsey was a big part of it.
I mean, Ramsey gone.
He gone.
You know, overall, you know what Jacksonville's ranking of defense is overall? 23rd ranked defense. But everybody acts like, oh, it's Jacksonville. You better not play your guys.
They were good like 5 years ago.
Yes, that's all reputation. If I had Tate, I pick him up, put him in the flex. I'm like, oh, he's gonna get stuff.
See as a daily player, do you play much daily? Have you tried?
I don't play a lot of daily, but that'd be he's perfect guy for that. From what I've seen,
I just jumped in. Like I said, I don't know if I said it. This is exciting for me. I don't play big money, so I don't win a lot of big money. But did I tell you I was in one where I scored the most I ever did? It's on the page, based on his suggestion for Mark Walton, who was dog dirty cheap. All these guys he's mentioned are going to be really cheap.
They're all cheap.
So then I loaded up. I got Diggs. I got McLaren. I got some big names in that. When Dalvin Cook, I played pretty much Dalvin Cook in every league. I scored over 200 points.
Wow.
I've never scored 200 points before, and I got 2 that had 200 points this week. Oh. Yours was 1 point more with Mark Walton. I came in 1,002nd place. It doesn't sound exciting, but there was 276,000 teams.
Jesus.
And
that's pretty good.
That's the 99.3 percentile.
Wow.
Only 7.
That's good.
0.7% of people beat me.
Wow.
And what did I say? This one had a guy that got hurt. This team had Will Dissly on it, I still scored 202. Again, that's a lot of this. Again, I think you can make money on it if you do the daily, but you need a little luck to get to that.
You do,
especially in the tournaments.
You got to hit a guy who gets a couple touchdowns that you didn't expect.
Right, well, I had McLaren. I stacked Cousins with Diggs. Obviously, I did well.
Yeah.
I'm giving you a good roadmap as why I did okay in that one. But you have to hit those guys. A lot of them you can't, especially the tournament, you can't miss that Will Fuller game. You're not going to win it. There's a sort of a joker in there if he's going to be on everybody's big money winning team.
Right.
Just like that. Okay, that's your wide receivers. Excellent. I have 1, 2, 3. I drafted Cousins but dropped them. I didn't take picked up. Okay. tight again. The wasteland.
Tight end.
What do we got?
The wasteland, but I got two guys outside the top 10
I love it.
that, rankings. I'm going outside the top 10. Jared Cook against the Bears.
Cook.
He's right now he's a 15th ranked tight end. He had 3
That's
for
amazing
37
for
and touch.
he started.
I mean, come on. Did you tell me? All right.
I'm listening.
I wrote this down. Way to talk.
Is that it?
All right. These are the tight ends ranked ahead of Jared Cook. Ebron, would you play him over Cook? No. Witten? No. All right. No. Maybe, but they're about on par. Okay. Jimmy Graham?
Hell no. No.
So what's the love? Where's the love for Cook? Because he's playing the Bears.
Right.
But Ron, last time I checked the film, the last time I saw the Bears playing Oakland, I saw a bunch of tight ends running everywhere.
They did great. And
you know what I mean? So to say they're playing the Bears, everything's going to come to a crashing halt for the Saints and Jared Cook is, a little narrative that's too easy. It's the lazy narrative. I hate the lazy narrative. The Bears will shut everybody down. You better not play nobody.
Well, the same thing as last week. Well, I told all my friends, by the way, to bet this under in this Houston-Kansas City game.
Sure.
Which, again, I ticked. But everybody on the radio, it's just going to be 75 minimum.
Oh, my God.
Because why? Because Houston just threw up 40 against who did they throw 40 against?
It was Atlanta. It was Atlanta.
And then, of course, Kansas City does what they do. Of course, it's 75 because of that recency.
Yeah, and the two quarterbacks, and everybody's all excited. And, I had Houston getting those points. I knew they're going to cover that game.
Well,
anyway,
you're picking you filled in my entire lineup. I just
your lineup's good.
I got a kicker and a D.
Right.
All I need is a kicker and a D.
Next guy I got, he's playing Miami. Dawson Knox, tight end for Buffalo.
Knox.
He's the 19th ranked tight end.
Wow, coming off the bye.
I don't understand this.
It's the bye, and then the previous week he only had 12 yards. That's why.
I understand.
But that's recency.
That's the recency stuff. They're playing Miami. Miami has, you know what Miami's defense is ranked?
40th.
All right. There's 32 teams.
32.
Miami has the 32nd ranked defense. They're allowing 439 yards a game.
439.
270 through the air, 170 through the on the ground. They're at 440. All right, we'll round up. Okay, 440. They can't stop the run. They can't stop the pass.
They can't score.
They can't score.
Get first downs.
They can't keep the ball. He's the 19th ranked tight end. Come on. You're telling me you're going to play. All right. Now I had to look at who's ranked ahead of him.
Knox, yeah.
You're going to play Jack Doyle instead of Knox? No, not against Miami. You going to play Font? No, not against Miami. Atkins fell, the two-headed monster. No, you're going to play Knox. He's playing Miami. It's a soft game. Everybody gets stuff against Miami. There's stuff to get. On a good team, we're going with Knox.
Question?
Yeah.
I got a choice here. Knox is available. Cook or Knox?
I love the matchup. I love Knox in the matchup.
Over Cook? Okay,
Yeah.
I like it.
I mean, I think that New Orleans will play a close to the vest against the Bears. They're going to hope their defense kind of pounds on. I don't even know if Trubisky's playing. They haven't said.
Right. He's not getting a good.
But we'll talk about when we get to defenses. We'll talk a little bit about New Orleans defense. New Orleans defense a little sneaky D.
I don't know
on the Saints.
I don't know if you bring out the chest congestion in me, but
I didn't do that. I don't know what happened.
I really apologize, folks.
I don't know what happened to you.
I didn't do any of this in the first 2 hours, by the way.
Maybe you were allergic to what you ate.
I had a delicious scallops meal with
maybe the fish got
with the fish. Maybe got me. I still have allergies. This is my allergy season until the first frost. But that's Keeler's Keys.
How exciting!
Check and look at the prices of these guys. You're going to be able to save up some money.
Yep.
Oh, Cortland Sutton. That guy's a stud. All right, let's get defensive then. I mean, we can usually throw this in at the end of Keeler's Keys, but I wanted to give it a little expanded coverage to defenses, especially, again, he plays in an individual defensive league, which we haven't spent much time talking about.
We haven't talked a lot about.
My first question for this week is, who's the hot pickups? Anything on defenses that you'd like to play this week over
you mean
any
team
other?
defense?
Team defense.
Yeah. Well, like you said, I mean, I don't think anybody dropped the Bears during their bye, so I don't think you're going to go run and get the Bears.
No.
Obviously, but somebody might have dropped Buffalo. Buffalo's team
Yes.
might have got dropped during the bye, so they're definitely, obviously, we talked about it almost till we're blue in the
Right.
face. They're playing Miami at home. Buffalo,
The Miami High School Dolphins.
the Miami High School Dolphins. They're playing Fitzmagic. Fitzmagic's going to throw what? 2-3 picks at least. He loves to throw interceptions. I mean, Buffalo definitely, if they're on waivers, is the number one priority on defense.
They are the most expensive defense this week in daily as well. At least
Wow,
on DraftKings.
really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Even
I'm
above New England.
most people are probably holding on to Frisco, Chicago, New England. Those are right now, to me, the top 3 defenses, especially in fantasy and in real life. You got to look at life, and then you got to look at fantasy. And somehow they collide a little bit. But right now, those are the top 3 defenses, and nobody's
number
dropping
4?
it.
I think I got them. They're on a bye.
Who's the number 4?
Carolina, baby.
Carolina. Yeah, I'd say Carolina's probably the number in the top 5.
They crushed last week. They made
they're
Jameson
getting
look
a
bad.
lot of sacks. Carolina's sacking the ball, and they're getting their numbers are a little skewed with the 7 turnovers last week, especially 5 picks by Winston.
I know you got Jameson.
Ah.
The thing about that, I think they scored 21 points for me. It's difficult to get to 20 without scoring a touchdown.
Yeah, it's very
It's very
difficult
hard.
without getting that touchdown, right?
And they got there.
They got there. That. I'd say right now on paper, yes. I'd say Carolina. I'd say Buffalo. Buffalo to me is a top. We talked time and again about Buffalo's defense being a top 5, 6, 7 defense.
Definitely.
And you got to remember they play Miami twice. They play. They got a little. I think they got Washington on their schedule coming up too. Buffalo. So.
Are there any? I'm looking at any other team, and we never said who's off this week. We should probably tell
It's
Carolina,
Tampa.
Oh yeah, Tampa's gonna hurt with all you Godwin fans, right?
Yeah.
I got it right here. Pittsburgh and Cleveland.
Cleveland.
I can put this away for a week right here.
Cleveland can't lose this week. If they're playing New England next week, Ron, get the pizza ready.
Gosh, no doubt. It's thawing now. That means I bought him a frozen one.
I'm getting a Red Baron. I don't want a Red Baron.
It's Totino's.
Tostinos.
Totino's.
Oh, man.
Let's look at all right, Carolina we said was good. None of these
Pittsburgh
Pittsburgh looked pretty good last week though. Although I'm telling you, Phillip Rivers is done. I've watched 2 games in a row. That guy's got he has got a noodle left, guys. There's nothing there.
He's lost the
It's
fastball
trouble.
from last year.
It
My
is
gosh.
trouble.
He definitely has.
Then those 5 you mentioned,
I'd say-
Green Bay.
I'd say Green Bay.
Are any of these defense ones that you would, other than the 5 you mentioned, that you're keeping through the bye? Because I'm always telling you, I don't think there's any other. Maybe Green Bay.
Green Bay. I'm borderline on New Orleans. They're
Right now, yeah,
They're
I'm with
6
you.
in sacks. They're in the top 5 in fantasy scoring defense. They got their top, 6 in sacks, so they're getting the sacks. I mean, I'd say New Orleans like in that top 8.
But that's a team you might be.
But that would be
though.
right. That'd be a team I'd probably stream. I'd probably drop them in the bye.
So think about it. What we're saying is,
I like matchups. I like matchups.
I do
matchups.
too. And sometimes, to rely, like even the Bears, to rely on them to do it every week is not going to happen.
It's
There's
not
no
going to
way.
happen in the NFL. I mean, you
doesn't
can't.
happen.
Those days are over where some team holds, under 10 points per average for 16 games. Those days are over.
It's the passing
Especially
league,
with the passing league now and the rules. Look at what the Bears. I'm just saying. Look at what the Bears happened with Oakland. Everybody thought, they're going to beat Oakland. Oakland might not score a touchdown. And they scored 24 points.
In 2 seconds, they scored 24 points.
It's more about talent. Do they get a lot of interceptions? Do they get a lot of sacks? Forced fumbles are kind of we call it more than anything a lucky play.
Because, they fall
there's fumbles are kind of lucky. Touchdowns are lucky. A team can be
Very lucky.
opportunistic, but you got to have the situation. You'll have a team that scores, last year, I think the Bears scored, 6, 8 touchdowns on a defense. They're probably not going to score that many this year.
Not even half.
But probably not even half that.
So hard.
It's hard. It's luck. But sacks aren't luck because if you have a quality pass rush, you're going to get your sacks, and if you have a quality secondary, you're going to get your picks like New England. So those are the teams you should focus on. And then, like Ron and I said, matchups. You got your doormat offenses. You got your Miami and your Washington and
Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Don't know what they're doing right now. Good
They
luck.
don't know what they're doing. If
Cincinnati.
you're playing Tampa Bay, Winston will like to throw you a pick or two.
Yeah, Philip Rivers just gave up.
I'd say teams right now. Teams playing the Bears. The Bears' offense ain't exactly flying
And
high.
that's another reason.
That's another team you could target to play the defense. Like if I had New Orleans defense this week, I'm firing them up. They're gonna sack whoever plays quarterback for the Bears.
I've put together 3 lineups so far for my daily. Because if you go every day and they give you extra crown points, which gives you free plays, all 3 have New Orleans defense.
You got to play the New Orleans defense.
They're the cheapest one that I want to pay for.
I mean, come on. They're going to play. My guess is Daniels plays. They said if Trubisky plays, you got to play with a harness and stuff. We talked about.
I say stuff all the time.
With his arm, and I talked about last week that it's not healed. There's no way his arm is healed.
That was ugly.
There's no way his arm is healed. There's no way it feels good. If he gets a hit, if he falls on the ground, if he gets thumped, he's going to have a hard time hiking the ball and getting the ball. I bet Trubisky doesn't play this week.
Rock and roll.
So.
Now, let's talk individual guys a little bit. For example,
exciting.
I have a question because, I watched the Monday night game, and now that I instantly became the biggest 49ers fan now because I just liked what the young guy did with the flag and the thing. And
Bosa
told Baker Mayfield to go stick it. He obviously was all over the Rams last week. How does rookie killer stud defensive players, how do they sort of rank in there as far as getting drafted individually? Like, did Nick Bosa get drafted?
No.
See, I was thinking that. I bet you, even though he was the number one defensive player.
He was number one defensive player drafted
but
going into the season, he had I think he hurt his hamstring.
I didn't know.
So he was kind of banged up, and he didn't play like the first game or two with Frisco. It's hard. Depending on what kind of it depends on what kind of scoring you have for your individual defensive player league.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Because some leagues you got to have a defensive lineman, a linebacker, and a defensive back. You have to have specific. You can have any 5 defensive players, and you get your points in our league from tackles, sacks, mostly tackle, sacks, and picks.
Because again, fumble recoveries and touchdowns, very lucky.
Very lucky. So in our league, you don't want sacks because most of the sack guys. What's a good season for sacks? Like 10?
10.
But they play 16 games.
Right.
So, if the games he doesn't get a sack and he gets 2 tackles, you get 2 points. I'd rather have a linebacker who's going to average 5, 6, 7 tackles a game.
I was going to say, can I guess which position there's the most taken? I would say linebacker.
Exactly.
For sure.
You want to load up on linebackers.
They do all the tackling.
They're the solid tacklers. They're the most consistent defensive players. If you ever play in these kind of leagues, they're the most consistent scorers. You might have those thrill games where the Khalil Mack gets 5 tackles, 3 sacks, 2 fumble recoveries, and he tipped the ball. Oh my God, it's the greatest game ever! And then he has against the Raiders, he had 1 tackle, 1 assist,
half a sack,
and not even he didn't even have a sack.
How do you guys give a half a sack?
You get a half sack. Well, if half a sack's awarded in real life, you get the full 3 points for the sack.
I got you. That's
so.
Cool.
You don't get half.
Who do you have? Who's your number 1 defensive guy?
I got Deion Jones, the linebacker from Atlanta. I got Jalen Smith, the linebacker from Dallas. I got real solid guy, Eric Kendricks, the linebacker from Minnesota, has been playing really well this year.
I was going to say, I'm surprised you didn't bring up Minnesota's D even on the edge.
Yeah, they're top 10. They're squeezing into the top 10.
That at home,
they got a tough division.
At home, they're a top 5, though. That team's wicked.
I'd say they got a pretty good defense. I don't go for those sack guys. I don't, J.J. Watt and all that crap.
Darnold.
I don't go Darnold. You can keep all that nonsense. I got
So
5.
gotcha.
I got 5 linebackers. Go tackle somebody.
I love
That's the consistency. I don't get the highs and the lows. I know what I'm getting pretty much each week if my guy doesn't get hurt. And that's how you do it. And then hopefully the rest of your team's pretty good.
Awesome.
But I got a couple dudes you should go pick up.
Pick them up.
Pick 'em up.
Are they linebackers?
Well, I got one defensive lineman. He's playing Miami this week, Jerry Hughes.
I love it.
You know, now here, my stat time.
That's a,
Miami in 5 games has allowed 23 sacks and 48 quarterback hits. Think about that. They've allowed that 70
so wait,
in
they are-
5 games. They've allowed their quarterback to either get hit or get sacked 71 times.
so they are putting up some big numbers in some part of some spaces.
So
there.
that's part of the problem too in Miami. They ain't
God.
blocking anybody. So if you could go pick up a Jerry Hughes and put him in your lineup, he's probably guaranteed to get a sack or two for Buffalo.
I just figured out how I'm going to get a video go viral. I'm going to drive to Miami. I'm going to find a season ticket holder, and I'm going to sit down with them and discuss why they would buy 16 tickets plus the preseason.
I don't
'Cause
know why.
have to-
They got to be
have-
cheap, I hope.
I hope so too. Well, when it's the high school game, you know. What's great about when you after the Miami games is the guys all come out of their locker rooms in their leather jackets.
Oh,
so
yeah, that's
right?
nice.
With
Very
that,
nice.
You know that little dolphin there.
Yeah, I love the Dolphins.
Oh,
All right.
oh, Dan Marino might be one of my favorite. He might be my favorite player of
Don't
all
even start.
time.
Don't even get started on
All
Dan
time.
Marino.
I know. I love Dan
Oh, I
Marino.
love Dan Marino.
Who doesn't love Dan Marino?
Oh, Dan Marino's the perfect quarterback.
He was the
He got stuck on some teams that were not good, and they didn't have a good enough defense, and he didn't have good enough players around him. But my God, he was the. If you poured everything into a little, a machine
Yeah.
that said create a quarterback for me, out would come Dan Marino.
and what a crazy career, right? Gets there as a rookie
Oh.
and then never again. Is that
Beautiful.
gets there as a rookie the whole way, right? Got to the Super Bowl as a rookie and then okay. We got to work. We only got 50 minutes left. By the way, we got a whole
we
league
gotta
to
go.
through.
All right.
What-
So pick up Jerry Hughes. He's gonna sack somebody.
Right? It's going to be huge.
It's gonna be huge.
All right. Now, I'm calling this segment going forward what was, what is, and what's coming. Game by game, team by team analysis. Let's talk about Thursday's game.
Oh yeah, Denver.
Kansas City at Denver.
Yeah. Hold on.
This isn't anything we're wagering about, but I will tell you that they opened at 5.5 down to 3, Kansas
Yes.
City. And
down.
the over-under dropped from 50.5 to 48.5.
It's
Got to
moving.
be on the right. People are starting to go. Kansas City's they got a formula on them a little
They
bit.
got a little bit of formula. They're going on the road. It's hard to win in Denver to begin with. Even if Denver's good. Last year when Kansas City was flying as high as can be, Mahomes wasn't hurt. Denver was They still
Watkins
gave him a
out.
game. They still gave him a game. They said Watkins is out. Mahomes still isn't 100%. You know, Denver's won 2 in a row.
That's just crazy.
So you could see that there's a lot of money and a lot of people saying Denver.
What do you think about the 3-pack at running back now?
It's just-
Darrell Williams, my guy, got one lucky catch for 52 yards.
It's
I
hard
saw
to
that.
touch it. It's hard to get involved and be excited because you don't really know who's going to score the touchdown, who's going to get the
Right?
juice play for Kansas City. And when you got it, we've talked about time and again that 3-headed monsters are not good.
If you're not
Like
putting-
at least
and-
2, you can kind of narrow it down.
And as a team, if they're not putting up 45,
Yep.
remember we were saying get everybody in there. Now I think it's just Kelsey, Mahomes, and Tyreek Hill. I don't know how else you go.
Yeah, you don't put
How do
any
you
of
go
those other
McCoy?
guys in.
Damian Williams, I guess you're playing him because you drafted him in the 3rd or 4th
Right.
round.
You got to probably play
Um,
him, and he's probably an RB2 or a flex player right now.
And you're not happy about it.
And you're not excited.
No, you're not.
They're
I'm a
going
Den-
on the road. They're going to play Denver. That's a
Mile
tough
high, yep.
place to play. And Denver, and like Ron said, Kansas City. You know, Mahomes is a little tinged up. He's not as mobile, and all of a sudden, you know, everything's not as freewheeling as it was 3 weeks ago.
Right on the other side, I'm pretty much Sutton.
Sutton.
And
I
Lindsey.
play once again. Last 2 weeks, how do you beat Kansas City? Time of
Run it,
possession,
run it.
run the ball. So I think you're going to see a lot of Lindsey and Freeman. I think you're going to see a lot of both of them, and they both might have some value playing this week. They're probably going to both get in that 50 to 70 yard range of yardage, total yards. And Denver ain't a slouch.
I'd like to throw out a quick complaint.
Oh,
Not about us, but what my online leagues. I told him about it. I like Sutton, by the way. I think he's a real player.
yeah, you better tell the story.
It happens. There's huge boxes that talk about unfair trades and some of this stuff. Now, in the league that I'm talking about, it took forever to fill, right?
Right,
So,
right.
Uncle Charlie, Cousin Bob, will you join my get
Yeah,
a league going?
yeah.
I'm not saying it for sure happened, but the second place team has held on to Antonio Brown, traded him to the last place team for Cortland Sutton.
That's ridiculous.
And I put the complaint in at the complaint box saying that AB may not play, probably won't play.
Really? He's not even on a team right now.
The people I'm thinking was saying, well, Antonio Brown is talking about trying to get back in. That's like me talking about trying to get my hair back. It's not his decision, for one.
Lord Jesus.
Hunt got 8 weeks. He hasn't even gone to the violation committee yet for what he's done. The investigation's not even up to over yet. Is he not under contract with New England? They don't have a say at all if he goes anywhere? They're still got to pay him. But
I don't think they've settled out his contract situation and his money. So my guess is he can't just go to another team right now. My guess is New England has some sort of control over him.
And the last thing I want to say, because we are running late,
Yeah.
they said, well, there's guys trying to sell high on Cortland Sutton.
Oh,
I'm like,
bullshit.
high for what? And I go, what do you mean selling high? I gave him my example. When you know a guy is good, you know. We knew McLaren was good as soon as we saw him play.
Yeah.
We saw, by the way, I watched the game when Jameis did terrible. Pre-game, he looked like he was about to puke. I go, this guy is not going to have a good game. I should have rushed to the board somewhere and loaded up on him. I'm not kidding you. I go, he didn't look, sometimes, right? It's right in front of your eyes.
You
sometimes.
see it.
Well, it's right in front of your eyes. I took Randy Moss, number 3 overall. As a rookie, I went 15-1. So no one can tell you if you're selling high on Sutton or not. He's getting 25%.
Sutton's like a top 25 receiver right now.
He was when he traded. He was in my league. He was the 11th ranked
Right.
PPR. 11th ranked.
He's not a slouch.
25% of the of targets. He's been the targets and yardage leader since week 3.
Yeah.
Hamilton's not the guy. Font's not the guy. Sanders is Emmanuel Sanders clearly
Banged up a little bit.
up and getting old.
Yeah.
It's Sutton's team. I didn't like it. All right, moving on.
Absolutely.
Rams against Atlanta. 2 really disappointing
Good
teams
Lord.
here. I think betting wise, just stay away.
I don't want
Do
no
not
part
bet
of
in
that
this game.
nonsense.
But I'll tell you right now, I'm playing Jared Goff
Sure.
on a road.
You got to play him against Atlanta's
This is-
defense.
If it's not this
Indoors.
week, I can't remember who it was, but they have another patty cake next week. The Rams.
Mm-hmm.
If Goff doesn't do it this week, I don't know how you blame it at all on the skill players, because the entire group of skill players can't be bad. They're not right. We got 3 wide receivers underperforming. Even Kupp did last week. Everett's going over. The running game's terrible. Goff's running for his life.
Stat time.
Stat time.
Jared Goff
It's ugly.
has
I
99
don't even want to hear this.
has 99 pass attempts under pressure.
I can still hear
The
you.
next best quarterback is under 86.
Say that again.
Goff has 99 pass attempts under pressure.
All right.
What they consider you're under pressure. No other quarterback is close. The closest quarterback is 86. So he's been under the most pressure of any quarterback over the season so far. The offensive line is not blocking for him, and he's getting pressured, and it's showing pressure on Goff. He doesn't have time to make those deep throws to this offense, and they're not using Gurley like they would. When Gurley was in his heyday, they would dump the ball off to Gurley, and he would rumble.
He didn't play.
He's not catching, and he's not rumbling.
He didn't play. So that's one. They're -3. This should be a pick 'em in any grid because both teams are playing about
Should be
the
a
same.
pick 'em. I mean, Rams are going to put some points up. Atlanta's defense is horrible.
What about the 3-headed monster we've got going now? What are you doing here? I got now. I have Malcolm Brown in both leagues.
I don't know.
I don't have Henderson in either league. I
Well,
don't
if
have Gurley in any
Gurley
league.
doesn't play again, then you play the other 2 guys.
Both?
It is kind of going to be a track meet.
You think so? Okay.
Yeah, I would play them both, but if Gurley plays, I'd stay away from that nonsense.
All right, cool. Atlanta side, wow. You know who's? I'm not kidding you. Like week 3, it's someone in my. I didn't get
Don't
a chance to
start
get him.
with Sanu.
Somebody dropped Austin Hooper in one of my leagues
Oh,
in week
Austin
3.
Hooper.
What's
the
going
prob-
on with
you
this
know
guy?
what
This
the
guy
prob-
is crushing, dude.
I want to kill.
I have Julio Jones. I want to kill him too.
Dan Quinn should be fired. And I'm
Because
going
Julio
to
Jones is a-
tell you why. The man is going to go down with the sinking Titanic, throwing
10-yard outs.
10-yard outs to Hooper and Sanu and Ito instead of using his dynamic playmakers of Julio and Ridley, and they just
Continually
run
lose.
out the clock and lose by 14 and go, well, Ryan had a good game and Hooper had a good game and Sanu had a good game, but we didn't score enough touchdowns to win. No kidding, dum-dum. You're not using your dynamic playmakers.
Well,
You
was he
deserve to be fired. Who's the knucklehead? Blanks. Arthur Blanks, the guy who owns Home Depot. You. I'm talking to you.
See?
Go fire your coach. The guy's a moron.
Oh, they're terrible.
Ugh. So, Ryan throws for 300 useless yards every
year.
week
Every week.
to Hooper and a bunch of guys and Sanu, and they lose. Oh, God.
What are we doing here? I mean,
Oh,
is it
my
time
God.
to get what you can for Julio?
No.
No, stick with him.
No.
Everybody in. This is a
Julio's-
game. Everybody in the
Once again,
everybody cooks.
When Julio gets 10 catches and 190 and 3 touchdowns, you're going to be like, ooh, I'm glad I didn't get rid of Julio.
Well, I hear you. It's
I didn't get rid of Julio.
It better start. What better start happening?
But it better start happening, right? I'll give you that. Dan Quinn's, Jesus, the guy should get fired.
All right, Miami. We're playing no one.
I don't want no part of
We're playing
Miami.
no one. Buffalo.
That Buffalo's a tough. Last week against the Redskins is a whole different story.
Right. But keep a look at Mark Walton. If you,
Maybe.
Preston Williams did not. He didn't do terrible last week.
Terrible.
Parker got the touchdown. We know
Parker
that.
got touchdown.
Buffalo. Josh Allen's got a nice run coming here. If he's available,
He does. He got
I
a
didn't
nice
even-
little run.
I would never think anybody that had a brain would have dropped him in any league. But some people
Right,
are
he
saying
shouldn't have
pick
been
him up.
dropped to begin with.
We definitely gave Singletary and Gore enough time.
Yeah,
Gore
you
got
got
dropped in one league.
You
by
got
the way,
Knox. You might play. You might play Cole Beasley.
right? How about
PPR.
John Big Smokey, baby, Smokey? I'm gonna stack Smokey with Josh Brown and Josh Allen in a few leagues.
Buffalo's going to score some points. We talked about Miami's got the worst defense in football.
You want to for sure split. I mean, and have a chance to win. When the line is minus 17 and the over-under is 40.5, there's something in there that you could absolutely exploit.
It's
To
going
not
one-
lose
it's
both,
going one
right?
way,
Right?
yes.
You're gonna, but then there's the chance that you hit both somehow.
Yep.
So I mean, again, I would give up the 70 and bet the under, or I would take the 17.5 and bet the under. I would go minus 17 in the over.
I don't
right?
like the
If
17. I don't like 17. I like the over.
Right, I love it. Good call.
Yeah.
But you're getting those guys in there. Jacksonville, again, to talk about what they did last week. They schemed for Minshew a little bit. He didn't.
They're
look,
playing at Cincinnati. Boy, that's gonna be exciting.
He should warm up back to what he did. But I want to see how even Cincinnati reacts to this floating a safety towards DJ Chark. And they literally said everybody else on the team just didn't catch it. Well, that's a stick in my face for D.D. Westbrook.
When you take specifically, Belichick's good at this. He'll specifically take out the best player he thinks on the other team and say, the rest of you guys beat me. The rest of you guys step up and beat me. Beat your one-on-one matchups. And somebody got to step up. Nobody stepped up. If you watch that game, Jesus Christ, they couldn't get a first down. They couldn't throw the ball. The Saints just kept pressuring Minshew. By far his worst game of the year.
Did I mention? I didn't mention this. I like the humble brags when I get in here. I'm in 2 big money leagues. One league I played Minshew. I scored the most points in the league. The other league I scored the second most, and I played Jared Goff. I have a quarterback problem. I absolutely do.
Yeah, that's
I do.
a little
but
weak,
if you're stacked
weak
the other
sauce.
ways, you can carry it. I guess
You
I
can
don't want to
carry-
carry it very much like that.
As long
at
as
all.
they throw a touchdown or two and get like a couple 100 yards, you could probably live.
right.
If the rest of your
You need it.
team's kicking butt.
I remember a year when I waited at quarterback, and I was so stacked. I kept throwing Jeff frickin' 150-pound Garcia out there,
Jeff
and he
Garcia.
won it. I beat the crap out of everybody.
Dude, I told you
Everybody.
2 years ago, was it? I lost Watson and Rodgers. They both got hurt that year. I had Philip Rivers and a dude to be named later, usually Josh McCown or some dude I got off waivers. I won the Super Bowls.
There you go.
So there you go.
Quarterback is probably the spot where you can go a little
You
weaker.
could kind of mix and match it and pray. So
Minnesota, Detroit. I don't think we have much discussion here.
You play your guys.
Here, one Minnesota thing for you, again, these genius prognosticators out there. Can you stop putting Kyle Rudolph on the sit list? The guy ain't got off the bench in the last 5 years. Everywhere, right? Well, sit Kyle Rudolph.
If you're
Who
playing
has-
Kyle Rudolph,
you read this stuff, right?
literally, you can play anybody.
He's got splinters. He's got
Ebron,
splinters.
Doyle, Graham, Knox.
Every week it's like sit Kyle Rudolph.
Yeah,
well,
sit
thank
Kyle
you.
Rudolph.
Why did you waste my time?
Yeah,
by
that was
putting
real
on?
worthwhile.
But oh gosh, is Dalvin Cook just beast, man? Every week he's so
He's a
fun to
beast.
watch.
He's a beast.
Matson absolutely proved last week that he is not every bit as good, but he is good.
He's good.
He's probably the best handcuff to have.
Everybody, if you got Cook, I got Cook on two teams.
know.
I got Madsen.
Again, I miss him in one.
You better
I'm
have
trying.
him. You
I
never
might
know.
after one of those defenses. Can I get one of those defenses I mentioned, 49ers or Bears D, and get Madsen?
Absolutely.
Okay, well, I think I might try that just to be safe. Just to be
I
safe.
think you could.
Detroit side, again, we're sort of a three-headed monster there with the quarterback. It's Carry-On's team.
Yep.
Marvin Jones looking pretty decent. Galladay, golly. He looks
Galladay's
like
tough.
he's going to be the number one wide receiver, I think. I'm not kidding you, maybe in a year or two. Galladay's going to be the number one wide
If
receiver.
Detroit was in the 21st century and they had a coach who didn't look like he wanted to, go have a beer somewhere, they would be throwing
Like
more.
me.
And if they were throwing more, you would see how good Galladay is.
Yeah, he can
In
play
a modern
inside,
offense,
short,
man,
over the middle.
he's
He
a
can go
tremendous player. He's Megatron light.
I love him.
They got Hawkinson. Don't forget about him
I
at tight
forgot about
end.
T.J. Hawkinson.
Don't forget about him. I mean, he's an option. I mean, if he's on waivers, he's a better fly than like a Jake Doyle or Graham or somebody.
It's a pick 'em, or no, it was a -1 Detroit. Now
Yeah.
it's +1 Detroit.
It's +1 Detroit.
So we're there.
That's who I got him at. It's gonna probably go off as a pick 'em.
It's indoors. Don't be afraid of the defense. Minnesota's good, but you're not sitting carrying. I mean, I like going through the games when we go deep cuts, but all those guys on these teams, nobody's sitting most of these guys. Why should we spend time talking about it? All right, Raiders week off, surprise win against the Bears.
Playing Green Bay.
Playing Green Bay. The guy that shows me that he's ready to play, we said, is Josh Jacobs. What can I give up wide receiver wise to get him?
Yeah,
Will I have to go all the way to Godwin, maybe?
I wouldn't give up Godwin.
No,
for
I don't want to.
Jacobs.
I
don't think I think you got to be careful with we talked about rookie running backs. They're going to hit a wall.
Okay.
They're not going to be good all year. Oakland's not that good a team. Terrell Williams is not supposed to play this week.
Right, so it's the baller week, baby, then.
Yeah,
Everywhere.
so I mean, I'd give up on my somewhere in that
Robert
three.
Woods?
Yeah, like those type guys. Yeah,
I don't think they won't go.
but they probably won't go for it. So why even bother?
I need it because I need a running back. All right, Green Bay. This team's in a bit
A
of
little
a.
bit of flux at wide
receiver.
receiver. Yeah.
What do you? I mean, Alan Lazard is he? I mean,
Yeah, Lazard's a worth a shot. I mean, keep an eye on
the injury report.
injury report. If it looks like Allison and or Scanling doesn't play and Adams doesn't play, they're going to put Lazard in.
How excited could you be to play Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah, it's a tough play, but he's.
He's still Aaron. I mean,
It depends on your matchups, and it depends who you guys is your second quarterback. But as you saw in the Monday night game, he's going to get his. He's going to get a touchdown or
He can throw it
two.
to
He's
moving.
going to get
bird and
250
fly.
yards and a touchdown or two,
Right.
no matter who's playing.
And I will say the Aaron Jones four-bird, that was a little bit fluky, right?
Yeah,
Those touchdowns were really close, but
I think
you got
it's-
to take them when you get them.
Yeah,
No doubt
so,
about it.
I'd still play Rodgers. I
How
mean,
about
he's still a top 10
MVS
quarterback.
if he goes, obviously. MVS.
Yeah.
Play him if he goes.
Yeah, if he's healthy to go, you play him. If Adams is ready, which I don't think he's going to be like we
What
talked
do you do
about.
there? God, could you imagine? Like, would you trade a Devontae Adams at all?
Just wait.
You're not going to get top dollar.
You're
that's
not going to
for
get the
sure.
money for him. And he's going to be, if he comes back healthy, he's going to be worth waiting for.
Play both Jones and Jamal with Jamal Williams, you think, this week?
Yeah, I'd play both of them.
If you have to.
They're
Bye
gonna
weeks
they're
for
gonna
you.
run them both into the ground. They're both gonna catch a lot of passes. It's gonna be
Right.
a lot of short stuff. I
mean-
Oakland's not a great defense by any stretch.
We're missing Chubb, Connor, and the McCaff this week. At
Yeah.
running back.
That's
Those are
all three
some big
three
holes.
big running
Huge
backs
holes
out.
in your lineup. So
Yeah,
we're
absolutely.
looking to find you guys some guys to play. Moving on, a pick'em game. I always like the road team at the pick'em because they're begging you to take the home team. Houston at Indianapolis.
That's a tough game.
Yeah, I agree. Colts coming
It's
off
gonna be
the
a good
bye.
game.
Marlon Mack, again, been a real. So again, he's more of your Sony Michel type guy. Not a lot of catches, but
Yep.
he has really. We talked about it a
Played
little
well.
bit, saying that the offensive line's still good. Let's
Yep.
not worry about Marlon Mack. He talked about Brissett being decent enough to hold it.
Efficient. And he keeps the teams honest with his passing.
I think the line right there represents the respect that
Yeah,
they have with
yeah,
Jacoby
exactly.
Brissett because it's
A
Deshaun
lot of
Watson.
respect. A lot of respect. Houston, except for last week against Kansas City, has not been a good road team. They haven't been a good road team. Last
said.
week notwithstanding, but I think the Colts are going to win the game.
I love it. All right, yeah. I said in general. I don't like to pick them games for some reason. I don't like to play those. Arizona went from -1 to -3.
Yep.
They're betting Arizona on the road at the Giants. The over/unders at 48.5, started at 50.
Yep.
Give us a breakdown of this game a little.
It's going to be a nonsense game because neither team can play defense.
That's the games we want, fans.
Yeah, right. You look at the over/unders, 49.5.
I
So, for those two teams, you wouldn't expect a high over/under.
7
They-
tutties, yeah.
They expect a lot of things to be happening and not a lot of defense to be played. It's going to be one of those 28-24, 30, 28 games.
Christian Kirk, what's up? Is he alive yet?
He's alive. He was limited practice this week so far, and so he's supposed to play, and Barkley's supposed to play, Ingram's supposed to play. We talked about playing Daniel Jones.
Sure, baby.
Arizona loves to give up points and touchdowns.
Right
So-
on. The sleeper Slayton, baby. He looked good
Sleeper
last
Slayton.
He looked good. He looked good last
Yeah,
week.
Shepard's still out.
What about the Chase Edmonds as a flex this week against the Cupcake Giants?
I would play
defense?
him. I'd play him
If
in
you
the
had
flex
to,
if
again.
you have to. Like Ron said, with all the people out at running back, you might have to play him as a flex.
You know why I didn't mention for the Colts it's available?
Naeem,
Yeah.
your
Let's
boy.
go back one. Naheem Hines.
Naheem
They
Hines.
could get out. Houston could get out on him. This is their pass catching back, and Marlon Mack's been a little bit injured. I just think that Naheem Hines should be on a team. I honestly do.
Yeah,
And he's coming off the bye. You're probably going to find him available in a few
yeah.
weeks.
He's available in all the leagues I know of. So
I have him in one league, and I'm picking him. I'm trying to. He's on my
definitely
list
in one of these games where it looks like it might be a little bit of a shootout, a little up and down. You want to, especially a running back, you want to play all your running backs because Mac can't play all the snaps.
Right on. All right. Okay, so we're playing Tate,
Yep.
of course. We're playing Barkley. He plays Ingram. Gosh, everybody loves him. And we're staying away from the defenses.
Stay away from the defenses.
And I think the over, that could be one that goes way over. All right.
Yeah.
Here's the team, the undefeated team, San Francisco.
Wow.
At Washington, -10 on the road.
Nice.
That
10
is a
on the road.
monster
That's
number,
a
by the way.
big number to be on the road.
That means the Vegas does not want you to bet San Fran at all.
Nope.
They're like saying no one's betting -10 on the road against Washington. Another three-headed monster, and really now down to 2.
Yeah, it's down to 2.
Mostert's been knocked. Well, actually, it was a 4-headed right for a while. Wilkins got dropped everywhere. Mostert might be on a few rosters.
Yeah.
What do you think of this? Folks talking Tevin Coleman is the guy, and Breeda's there to just to sort of spark things up.
They're
Breida
morons.
looks like the guy to me.
Well,
and Tevin
Breida's
Coleman
the
looks
better.
like the backup guy.
Breida's better
I
running
agree.
back.
I agree. What do you think of their talk? They're just, again, last week Tevin Coleman did better, so he's, of course, the better back.
He's a hot, topic. It's all recency bias.
Can you
I
play
mean,
either one of them right now? Certainly against Washington.
Yeah, you can play both of them.
When I saw Breida's 85-yard run, I go, well, there's a guy. And I
Yeah.
think
I think
chances stay healthy.
there's a good chance Coleman's. I know Breida's always been banged up, but he's been fairly healthy this year so far. Coleman's the guy you got to worry about. He's going to get hurt again.
Absolutely.
And when he does, you better have Breida on your team.
Right, and then look for the Mostert.
And
if,
then Mostert.
If you have Breida and you got room, sometimes that backup to the backup maybe not be a bad play either.
It's not a bad play.
No,
I mean,
again, 20
depending on your roster size.
If it's a bigger roster.
You're right.
So Kittle, obviously.
Yeah, you play Kittle.
You got to. What about Goodwin? Again, Debo.
Maybe Pettis.
Debo, they say Debo Samuel's a bad week last
Yep.
week. Again, it's sort of a rotation at wide receiver.
Yep.
It's a three-headed monster that I kind of don't really want to be.
Yeah,
a part
Kyle
of.
Shanahan kind of plays that hot. Whoever's did the best most recently gets to play kind of thing. So Pettis will probably get most of the playing time.
And play San Francisco's D.
They're gonna run the ball against the Redskins.
Yeah.
They're gonna run. They
How
like
about
to
that?
run.
-10 in the over/under is 42.
Right. They're gonna run the ball and they're gonna pound on Washington.
All right, we got to go to the only guy that's getting played in Washington, and
Scary
I'm worried
Terry.
about it. I'm worried about it. Against New England, he did. He got his 50 yards and 4 catches against New England.
I wouldn't get. I
Yeah,
wouldn't
don't
worry
worry
too
about it.
much.
Okay.
I wouldn't worry too much.
I'm going to play him. Scary Terry McLaurin again. Top. I say he's the top rookie. At least
So far, he is.
Fined because everybody had Kyler Murray and Josh Jacobs up high,
Right.
and then David Montgomery is sort of off that list.
Yeah,
now.
where'd David Montgomery go?
Where did you hear that?
He's on the
Don't
milk
even
carton.
draft. We said don't even
We
draft
said don't
him.
even. There was somebody. That guy on TV
Yeah.
said it's gonna be a top 10 running back.
Yeah. He's his breakout.
You moron.
A rookie. Can you break out as a rookie? I thought you had to get some experience before you broke
Oh
out.
my
Again,
God.
Fabiano, dude. He's
Oh
terrible. They
God.
call him the Hall of Famer. I don't know. I think if they give him that title to accentuate the size,
I should be in the
fact
Hall of Fame.
that
How
he's-
is he in the
that
Hall
he's
of Fame?
4'11". I think he's so short that they give him a title.
I want
because
to be in the Hall of Fame.
I think tell people, like our page.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? That's a good time to talk about our sponsor right there.
Yes, good call.
And because we like doing this. This is our 12th episode. Looking forward to doing this since Sunday, since I learned that I won all these things. And I'm sure, right? Things are going to go bad some weeks, right? We're going to come back and say, yeah, we did bad. But I'm telling you, more often than not, we are crushing these dudes.
That's right.
We are. Tell your friends, share the show, like it, like our page, Ron Harlow Media. He's a part of it big time. And then tell your friends. But our sponsor, of course, Bridges Scoreboard in Griffith, Indiana, 121 Griffith Boulevard. It's the Bridges Scoreboard Restaurant and Sports Bar, a wonderful place. They're giving away a big screen TV. You can actually see a picture of it below. They put up the picture of it.
Yeah.
It is 50-inch.
Wow.
50 inches. I could guard LeBron James myself at that size. I got you. They're giving away a big screen TV at every Bears regular season game, so you can check that out this Sunday against New Orleans. They got the best wings in the area. Call them at 924-2206 and get an order of food in right away. We love them. Okay.
Great place.
Moving on. Terry McLaurin and there was just to speak of Washington for a moment. On a note, I heard something that Darius Geis might be back on the field.
Darius Geis.
Well, I mean, yeah,
He might be back. Yeah.
They're talking week 10.
Yeah.
But again, as desperate, maybe I'll go hunt for Geis. Maybe.
Yeah.
At least he's a rookie that was supposed to be good.
He might be a play. I mean, Thompson's got something wrong with him.
Yeah.
Adrian Peterson got something wrong with him. You know what it is?
He's too
Age,
old.
and he's too old, and he doesn't have anything left in the gas tank.
He had his best game of the year. You know that he just did that last week. Right?
Yeah,
He
he was playing Miami.
Yeah, right.
The
Everybody-
32nd ranked defense, 170 yards a game on the ground.
He had 100 of them. So
He had
again, that was
100.
it. You saw it.
But Geis might be a future. What do you call it? Keep your eye on Geis.
Geis.
When he comes back, he's going to be on a bad team that
That's
needs a
true.
running back.
We don't want him. We don't want.
Needs a running back.
You got to have him. All right. Next game, Chargers, Tennessee. I'm not big on this game
Ugh.
because I don't like Philip
Sweet
Rivers'
Maris.
game. I think they're going to continue to
The
try to push Melvin Gordon's.
The wheels have come off
they gave
San
him a
Diego's
bunch of
cart.
I need. By the way, I needed 12 points or less from from Eckler to win.
Uh-huh.
He scored 4.8, so I won. But I think that could be the difference in this game. Wager watch. Obviously, you're going Keenan. Are you playing either one of the running backs? I'm not. I'm telling you right now, I'm not playing either one.
It's a mess. They're trying to force feed. We said it last week. They're trying to force feed like Melvin Gordon into the offense, and it just doesn't feel right. And He's talked about it. If your eyes tell you Phillip Rivers has lost a little mustard on the old fastball.
It's got a lot of air in
He
it.
just isn't the same quarterback he even was last year.
But a positive note, the defenses don't appear to know that Hunter Henry's even on the field. Both touchdowns, there wasn't any guy
They
near
seem
him.
to not.
No.
They seem not pick up where
Well,
he
he's
was.
missed so much time, they don't know
Yeah,
what he
maybe
looks
they
like.
don't know who he was.
He's going to be the guy I think that you can hang on to.
Here's a news flash. Hunter Henry, sell high.
Sell high? Okay, I hear you. That team's good.
He's not going to stay healthy the whole year.
And this team is
I know it feels
trouble.
good right now, and you're like, ooh, it feels good. He's not going to stay healthy another, 10 games? Come on.
What can we note? Like, I'm picking up a lot of from Robert Keepskeeler. He teaches me things, and I use what you do, what you've taught me to other areas. Remember 3 or 4 weeks ago, I asked him who the top wideout and the top. Wait a minute, I asked him the top player in NFL, and it was Keenan Allen.
Yeah, at that time.
At that time, what's happened since then? They've probably we're going to game plan Keenan Allen, and this whole team has come to an absolute halt.
It's come to an absolute
It's
halt.
done. This
They
team
let
is-
Mike Williams do whatever he wants. They're like
hurt
Melvin
again.
Gordon. He ain't going to do nothing. I mean, the defensively, they're not as good as they were. San Diego, I mean, the team just is becoming an average team. They should have been a top 3-4 team in the AFC.
Absolutely. I thought they were.
They're not.
I talked about them being Super Bowl ready, remember?
Remember
Going,
that?
I go,
Yeah.
I even said, that's
Yep.
the team's going to have the most guys on players.
Going into the season, they were the number 3 team behind Kansas City and New England. Most people on paper have said San Diego is that 3rd team. Wow. So how far they've fallen.
Tennessee, they're rolling out Tannehill.
They're rolling out Ryan Tannehill. Mariota's done.
I think he can.
He's done.
Tannehill, one of the craziest
Play-
thing about
play
this
taps.
wager watch is that Tannehill is replacing the backup, and they're still -2 against the 3rd team that he said. Right? They're still -2. Talk about a fish. They are saying, take San Diego. Or sorry, take those Chargers. They're trying. Yeah. Wait, we'll get to that when we get to the wager watch.
That is true.
Tannehill is the kind of guy again who could come in for a Fitz wonder, right? One big game. Chargers defense is a shell right now.
It's just shell.
Right. Dude, some guy named Delvin Hodges scored the crap out of the Chargers on Sunday night.
Pittsburgh threw what?
Four yards a pass.
Well, Pittsburgh threw like three passes to their wide receivers, and they whooped them.
Whoop.
I mean, how do you do that?
Because
San Diego,
Yeah, but Tennessee,
not good.
yeah,
Tennessee ain't no great shakes.
I'm not playing anybody. I mean, I guess I
Yeah,
think
you-
Tannehill can do
It's kind
something.
of a stay away at fantasy.
At least give the Tannehill a look. I mean,
What's
if you
the
got to
over-under
play
they
Delaney
think?
Walker,
38
it's 40.
and a
I
half?
got 40.
Oh, you got 40?
So
Must have went up
and
a
then
little.
mine went moved.
Mine
Mine's
moved.
updated, so I don't
Yeah.
know when yours is. I just did mine today. So
I did mine today, but it might have been the update.
Right on.
But still, it's a low over
Derrick
under.
Henry, who did terrible last week.
Derrick Henry.
The rest of the
Once again, inconsistent. Who said that was going to happen?
because he doesn't catch the ball.
He doesn't catch the ball. He has one game where he's going to have his 150-yard, 3-touchdown game. God knows when it's coming.
Right on. Okay.
All right.
Moving on. Another bad sort of fantasy game. We think. Maybe not. The over-under is 38. New Orleans at Chicago. Bears -3.
Yeah.
That seems like a fish. A little bit. New Orleans.
Especially
doing it
if
with
Chase
smoke and
Daniels
mirrors.
plays.
Let's start with New Orleans. We got
Okay.
Kamara hurt.
Don't know his status. Keep an eye on him. All right, going up to Sunday. Is he practicing on tomorrow and Friday? What are they saying? See what's being said.
Right, Murray could be a factor.
Murray could be a factor.
With Kamara hurt, Jared Cook might be a little bit bigger factor. That
Jared
could
Cook
happen.
might come into play. I mean, Thomas and Cook, throwing those little passes. Bridgewater, slow down the pass rush.
Yeah, if
I don't see how New Orleans is, getting 3 on the road.
I hear you. So again, Michael Thomas locked in. Bridgewater, if you gotta, I guess. I mean, it's still the Bears defense, but you're not stopping Michael Thomas at all. You're not sitting
No, Michael Thomas still get his.
there. Bears again, running game, no. Allen Robinson, yeah.
Yeah, maybe Allen Robinson.
And the Bears D. Think about it.
Bears
Allen
D.
Robinson, Bears D. You want to play anybody else? No.
Nope, nobody else consistent.
Nope. So that's that team. Baltimore at Seattle next game. What a game for Lamar Jackson. 175 yards rushing or something?
Huge, yeah, huge game.
And
What, the third best rushing game in the history of the NFL for a quarterback.
That's the funniest commercial on TV right now.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty good. I
Let's
saw
go
that
hide
one.
behind the chainsaws. Okay.
Well, let's get in that running car.
You're
No,
breathing
why
on
would
me.
we do that?
Stop breathing on me. That's I love it. Yeah. What I mean, Baltimore. I mean, think about it. Think about the offense in this team. It is run, and Mark Andrews. That's your consistency.
Pretty much it. What do we? Well, once again, after week one, what did I say about Hollywood? Don't get too excited about this whole
because it was
mess.
Miami. It was
It
Miami.
was Miami, and you can't go with those, like, they call them splash players. He's a splash player.
That means run. We'll throw it to you.
Yeah, but
That's why we gave you McLaren above Hollywood, right?
Exactly.
That week we gave you McLaren above Hollywood that week.
Exactly.
Keelan, if you're listening, you remember me telling you.
Yep.
Just exactly
That's it
that.
right there.
Right on. What do we got? We got some questions.
Lamar Jackson, you play Ingram, you play Andrews.
We've got people chiming in.
Who said
I would
something?
run. Ira, we got a friend. Ron, know everything about football. We are blessed with insight of two amazing sports minds. Oh, thank you, Ira. Tricia, he should be.
That's my
Can
brother-in-law.
you imagine letting this coach down? We must be talking about maybe Aaron Rodgers, maybe. Who's Tricia? Who's Tricia in love
I
with?
don't know.
We
He
talk
should
about
be.
Garoppolo.
Can you imagine letting this coach down?
We'll talk about it.
Yeah.
I just like that you're chiming in. Ask a question or two. I'll reset
Yeah.
and we can think about it. You can call us at
Give us a
720-33
buzz.
my day. We can run a little bit over, but we're getting close to the end of the show. We're talking about Baltimore. Again, it's Ingram. I'm thinking about picking up Justice Hill, by the way. Had some just as a backup
Yeah.
because of the fact that
Ingram's been getting a little banged up now. You're starting to see a little.
Justice Hill had 5
stuff.
very important carries last week.
had
I read.
5 carries.
No, he had more, but 5 during a really clutch
crucial
time
part of the game, right?
So, it
So
made me
they were
believe in
they
it.
were leaning on him a little bit. Ingram was banged up a little bit. I mean, it's a running team. You want part of that running game. Seattle,
Yeah, let's do Seattle.
Russell
God,
Wilson.
You know
what was I said it last week?
God, is that guy?
I
that
don't-
guy's
does anybody
lights out
listening?
there. Yeah,
What'd I
he's
say?
so good.
Now everybody's like, "Oh yeah, the Russell Wilson."
What's
He's
amazing
so
is that-
underrated. So underrated. I said it last week before he played that game. And if you watch him, he's so underrated.
I played him.
Oh.
I faced him 2 out of the last 3 weeks. One of them he scored 40 on me, but I won. And then I placed him this last week, and I won again. I luckily got by Russell Wilson. What's he doing it with? With his legs when he needs to. Because it's not like
Just
can you
makes
think,
plays.
I mean, he is, but I can't even think of a wide receiver that's doing that well there. Is
No,
Lockett
no.
doing well?
He spreads it around. They got Lockett. They got Metcalf. They got a
had
couple other
Disley.
dudes. They had Disley.
Boy, that's a big.
They had
That's a
Carson.
big loss for Russell Wilson. There.
Russell Wilson keeps drives alive. The third down plays he makes when he rolls out. The things he does, he's almost like the hybrid of real life and fantasy. He's what you want in a real life quarterback, and he's still
Conservative,
getting you the
right, 'cause
fantasy
he's
stuff.
conservative. He doesn't turn it
Right,
over.
he doesn't turn it over. I don't think he's got a pick this year yet.
That's a pretty good
And
point.
knock on wood. I mean, he's just that kind of. I would like him in real life, and I would like him on my fantasy team. Beautiful.
Don't forget Chris Carson.
Don't forget about CC.
He's gonna be fine.
C squared.
Get him in there, baby. Baltimore's D. It's like they're making noodles, baby. Got to get that water out of there.
They're
Who's sick?
overrated. And
So bad.
Seattle. I
What
mean,
happened?
what's the over under? 51 in this
I
game?
got
Oh, you got it at
50.
50? Okay.
I'm still going under.
Yeah.
Wager watch. Philadelphia at Dallas.
Whoever loses that game's really gonna be looking in the mirror, going, "We're in trouble."
Two sort of iffy.
That's kind of
defenses right now.
yeah. It's kind of a must-win on both sides. Somebody got to win it. Somebody got to win that game to take control of that division.
Did Dallas's offensive line guys get
No,
healthy for
no.
this week or no?
No.
The center's out still.
The
yeah.
center's out. The left guard was out last week. The left tackle's out.
You're talking me into Mike Sanders. You know that. You're talking me into Mike Sanders. Again,
You know,
Deshaun Jackson due back.
he was supposed to practice but didn't yet. They're waiting to see if he practices later in the week.
How are you? You think anybody's really rolled out a Jordan Howard? I mean, like I'm going to play him this week. I still bet nobody. He's still on everybody's benches.
So
You not played him.
all these running backs, these two-headed monster running backs, are so inconsistent with touchdowns, and I mean,
Is this a week?
Who scores touchdowns anymore at running back?
Aaron Jones.
Aaron Jones with his
Poor
4.
banger,
It's
yeah.
going to be the top game. I mean, I bet the top running back hits maybe 9 or 10 maybe this year.
That's amazing.
It's amazing.
'Cause
it's
no
turned into
Gurley,
a
right? No Gurley.
right. It's turned into a passing league.
McCaffrey will get
McCaffrey will probably get a little higher. Yes,
Take
maybe
him out.
maybe
I guess.
Kamara. But except for them two guys, are
Because, Zeke never gets in. Zeke never gets in.
Zeke ain't getting in. I mean, I would trade for Elliott right now though.
I would
If
too.
I could,
after last week?
because after I trade for Elliott,
I would too.
and he's gonna go on one of those runs like last year where he just scored touchdowns every week. It's gonna happen. I wish I had Elliott.
Ertz in. How about Alshon Jeffrey? I've always been vanilla. I was vanilla on him when he was on the Bears. I've never owned him. I don't want to talk about own. I've never had him on my team.
Yeah, I never had him. He's
just blah.
he's blah, consistency, blah.
He's got the size, though.
5-6 catches, 60, 70 yards, and you pray for a touchdown.
How you feeling about Wentz? You got Wentz in the league. How
I
you
got
feeling about-
Wentz.
I haven't really watched his week to week.
I watched
Are you
him
happy?
last week. He looked pretty good. I mean, the defense couldn't stop Minnesota if they couldn't get the ball back. He's struggling a little bit. They're not running the ball as well as they should, and he looked pretty good last week. He made some good throws in when they were down. They were down like 17-3, and he kind of brought them back. But their defense sucks.
I think
Philly's defense ain't that good. It's going to be
Yeah,
a
that's
track meet. I said this is going to be the one game I'm looking at is a kind of a track meet. It's Philly and Dallas.
Over under 47.5, all the way up to 49 right now. I have 7 touchdowns. Isn't that hard? I don't think.
I think it's going to be a track meet. I think it's going to be one of those 35-34 games.
Let's go to the other side of the ball and talk a bit. And there's a big Baloo there. I mean, there's a big opportunity for someone who has the number 2 wide receiver. Amari Cooper, there's a really good chance that
he's not playing
this game.
You got Gallup. Here we
Michael
go.
Gallup. Didn't have a great week last week again.
Not a huge game.
But enough to 7 or 8, I think he had.
Yep.
But before that, again, he was averaging 113. Got hurt, meniscus tear or something on his
Torn
knee.
meniscus.
Back in, I wouldn't go with any of the Randall Cobbs, the Devin Smith. I wouldn't go with any of those as that's another guy. If we're looking for guys to fill in for Cooper, I'm not filling with any of those guys. I'm going to give Gallup the guy.
Play Gallup, Elliott, and
Witten,
you'll probably play Prescott, and if you got to play Witten, I know you love him.
No, I just think it's amazing. I'm just I love him as we all love him. It's just fluky.
I love Witten.
I agree.
I loved him when he was
playing. I thought he was
playing.
going to be doing? Do you think when I said to draft him that I think I was going to do this?
No.
Hell
You
Nobody
didn't.
thought
I know you
this.
didn't. I know.
I mean, he's a top 10 guaranteed point wise, right?
He
now.
is right now.
2 years in the
They
booth.
look for him around the goal. I know. Like, where's Witten?
2 years in the
2
booth.
point to 2 point conversion.
Yeah,
They were looking for Witten.
You know it, baby.
So
I
what
love
does that
him.
tell you?
All right, Monday night we have New
Da-da-da.
England at the Giants coming off a huge. Jets coming off a huge win against the Dallas. The over/under is only 42.5. New England is a 9.5 point
It's talking
favorite.
about chance of rain. I know it's only Wednesday, but they're talking about chance of rain in New York.
We'll see.
We'll see.
Philip
Something to
Dorsett.
keep an eye on.
Who's hurt over there? Philip Dorsett. They're saying.
Dorset has a practice. He's kind of limited, and
But they're calling him a good play this week. Against the
well,
Jets.
once again, if he practices, yes, of course.
But
You
isn't
got to
Josh Gordon
watch
hurt?
Thursday and Friday. Josh Gordon, I don't think is practicing. I don't think he's going to play. That's why Dorsett.
There you go.
If he plays, Edelman, Dorsett. Are
Maybe
two.
Jacoby Myers again. I think
Here we go, Jacoby Myers.
He had a decent game.
He had a decent game, and I mean, if you look, they were giving him looks. So yeah, keep an eye on all. I'd keep an eye on Dorsett as the week goes on.
Is it a Sony Michel game? A James White? It was a both game last week. I played them both and I was happy with.
Yeah, I'd say
both double digits, 13 points.
You play Sony Michel right now.
Yep.
I mean, New England's still not going to roll over and play dead, but it's going to be a tough game. The Jets are going to be geeked up for that game. I can't wait to see the dude in the stands. J-E-T, Jets.
Right.
He's going to be going out of his mind.
They have great fans.
They got some. He got that fireman hat.
Yeah. Oh, I love that.
That
guy.
dude is pretty cool.
Are you dumb? Everybody's going to try to get their hands on at least Robbie Anderson and Crowder.
Yeah.
Are you waiting a week to get him in your lineup, or do you think Crowder's worth a play and
Crowder's
maybe Robinson next?
Anderson,
next
I'd worry about a little bit because Belichick's not going to let him go over the top. I don't think.
Not once.
They'll let them work. matriculate the ball underneath and see what happens and make a mistake or kick a field goal. I think Crowder's the play.
Okay, I love it. Of course, Bell, you're getting in.
Yeah, you're going to play Bell.
You're not probably starting Darnold yet either, although, again, he looked pretty good.
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to get the volume against New England to start. Depends who you got. If you got to play 2 quarterbacks, I mean,
right.
If you have to play him, it's not must bench because it's New England.
Right. Still 42.5 is the over-under.
Yeah,
there.
I mean.
Again, I just hit refresh. No questions yet. So let's move to the next move. It's wager time. We're getting close to the end of the show. Survivor picks. I lost 2 weeks ago.
Oh, Ron.
He sweated his out.
I sweated out week 6. I had Green Bay. They won.
Woo!
So I'm still alive.
Let's talk about – I think we're going to talk about that game in the hamster cage match, particularly. I imagine we'll both be on the same sort of pick.
Yeah, I know where that's going.
Who is your survivor pick this week?
Maybe you haven't heard the show, Ron.
Is it Buffalo?
It's going to be Buffalo.
Oh, I would do it too.
It's the time to take Buffalo at home. They're playing at home against the 32nd ranked defense in football, Miami Dolphins. Miami starting Mr. Turnover, Fitzmagic, with his big beard. I know he's fun to watch, and he's crazy. He's from Harvard or Yale, wherever he's from.
Yeah, Harvard.
He's got a big beard. It's beautiful, and that's all beautiful. But I got Buffalo. They're gonna hopefully, let's hope, win, and I'll move on to Week 8. So right. Seattle, Baltimore, Dallas, San Diego, New England, Green Bay so far.
Nicely done. Way to go. I, of course, lost on Kansas City, but I'm okay with it. I've been doing good elsewhere.
Yeah, you've been doing your thing.
And otherwise, I'm a 2-time survivor. So.
All right.
Right? That's a good thing.
Hey, that's the one you gotta. That's the one you gotta survive, Ron.
That's the one you gotta win.
You gotta win that one.
Right?
Amen.
Thank you, brother.
All right.
I'm gonna stay super positive with that.
Yeah.
All right. Let me do my wagers first.
Go right ahead, sir.
All right. You know I like the over-unders.
He loves them.
I do. I looked hard and heavy and tried to find a couple that I like, and I'm going to start with the solo game. And it's 2 teams that can score. Russell Wilson, Lamar Jackson. We got Ingram. We got Chris Carson. It's 50. You got 51 under. I'm going to go under in the Baltimore at Seattle game for 2 reasons. I think both of those teams have running quarterbacks and running offenses.
Yep.
They're runners.
Yep.
Unless they run out of bounds, I think this game's going to be like a 2 hour and 45-minute game. All right.
Definitely keep the clock moving.
Just like the Super Bowl was.
Yep.
A fast game. These teams aren't going to throw it 30 times each. 50 is a good number. Could they get there? Sure. They certainly have the offense to capable. If one team starts to go boom, 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 and then the other one charges back. But if it's a ground and pound, every drive's important.
Yep.
If this game is close in any way, shape, or form, no way is it go over 50.
Last week, if you saw Baltimore playing and with Jackson scrambling, the clock kept running. And running.
50's big, guys.
Yep.
That's a lot of touchdowns. I mean, you throw in maybe 2-3 field goals, no way can it go over.
Seattle got a lot of points last week because Mayfield turned the ball over in inopportune spots and set Seattle up for touchdowns. So Seattle is definitely a running team.
We've mentioned that Russell Wilson doesn't turn it over, so that means
Baltimore's
not going to be in good field position based on
Somebody
a turnover
goes up
either.
The field, down the field, up the field, down the field. Run.
I bet you like that one. I
like that one.
All right. Chargers, Tennessee. Again, the 2 wastelands of offense were crazy. The over-under's 40. I'm going under there, too. And reasons why. Phillip Rivers is done, I say. They're going to force the ball to Melvin Gordon because they gave him all the money. I think Eckler, after 2 more weeks of this, right? Eckler's going to become the number 1. So trade for him even. I'm telling you, this is how I feel. He scored. He was the highest scoring running back, I think. Well, McCaffrey probably was, but he's probably number 2.
He was. They ruined the whole formula. They threw what I said last week, they threw a big bone into the soup. And now it's just rattling around in the soup, not really doing anything to help.
I just don't see. Tennessee absolutely has a solid defense. They've been watching.
Yeah, they've got a solid
defense. They watched Phillip Rivers limp the arm through this game. They're going to keep the game low. And on top of that bet, my first time ever, same-o, I'm going under Chargers, and I'm taking Tennessee minus the 2 because I can't possibly.
Man, you love this. Rod's gonna be the only man in America watching this game from first to fourth quarter.
Right. I'm baffled in my mind that when I was all charging, and then how Tennessee could possibly be favored by 2 with the number 2 quarterback who hasn't started yet this year. I could be completely wrong, but those are my 3 bets: the under Baltimore, Seattle under Chargers, Tennessee, and -2 Tennessee.
All
Take
right.
it away.
All right. So who do I like? Who do you like?
Besides me and Trish.
Well, I like one of you more than the other.
That's love. I guess I should have said that. Like is good.
All right. Who do we like? All right. I like the Giants. Give it 3 against Arizona at home. I think Daniel
Jones. Plus 3.
Who? The Giants are.
I got mine. Maybe I wrote it wrong.
Yeah, the Giants are giving 3, Ron.
Oh, I wrote it on the
Arizona's getting 3.
I'm sorry.
So the Giants are giving 3. Okay. Danny Dimes at home. We talked about the sieve-like defense of Arizona. Barkley will be back. Ingram will be back. I think Daniel Jones can have a good game. You put Arizona on the road, they've done most of their damage at home. If you watch the Arizona at home, they like being at home. They've put Murray on the road. I think you're going to see him struggle a little bit more than he was.
Can I throw in a guy you gave me last week, and I'm so happy I have him now?
Who is it?
Zane Gonzalez.
I
have him
we
now.
talked about the field goal kicker.
I said I'll try.
Yes.
Double digits again.
Definitely the kicker extraordinaire because Arizona loves to stall in the red zone. All right. I like
young quarterbacks do that a lot, by the way.
A lot young quarterbacks and
stall in the red zone
and Cliff Kingsbury
loves
it too.
I want points. I want some points. I'll take 3 if I have to.
I personally like Washington. I like Frisco giving 10. I think they're going to cover that spread on the road. I don't think the Redskins are that good. I think Frisco is that good. Frisco wins this game like 31-14.
I see it.
Something like that. They're going to put some points up. They're going to get some defensive stuff. They're going to get some turnovers and set Frisco's offense up. I like to give in the 10.
I love it.
And I love – here's a stat.
Stat time?
Belichick's 1-5 against the Jets in his last 6 straight at the spread. So the Jets cover. They might not win this game, but they're getting 9.5.
I love
at
it.
home.
Go with them, Darnold, baby. You're jumping on the Darnold.
Get the little Darnold going. Get a little action going. The Patriots are going to play a close game at some point. The Patriots might lose. Here's a news flash. The Patriots might lose a game this year. Oh my God.
They're going to lose a game.
So yeah, they're not going to win every game. They're going to play a close game. I'll take the points on the road against a team that they usually struggle against. So I like the Jets. I think the Jets are at full health where they could give the Patriots a game, and I like the 9.5.
I love it. We will. I will post these wagers maybe with a bonus something on Sunday like last week. I gave one extra play and it was a winner. I gave you Auden Tate. I even wrote down. I don't know if you scroll down. Maybe Trisha should show you. I even put the deepest cut I'm playing is Mark Walton. I put it in there, and I did have him on one. So I talk about some deep plays on Sunday morning when I'm watching all the stuff to get going. And if the lines change, I will acknowledge them on here at least because our call's based. It's Wednesday, guys. We got still 4 days before lines can change. All right, let's move to the hamster cage match. I don't know if this is really a cage match for what is going on with all the penalties and the non-penalties. What are the? This is a good question. Do you remember? I mean, we know when they run out of bounds, they change that. Right. It's not too much. The boom, it's going in. Incomplete pass still stops the clock always.
Correct. Yeah.
When did they change? Like penalties no longer stop. They do, but as soon as they get done with the deal.
Once they spot the ball, they start the clock back up.
That has to be something new. There's no way back in time. I don't remember when this changed.
Well, they know they're calling so many penalties, they can't stop the clock.
That's what I said.
Because the game would be 4.5 hours. I mean, so and there's so much passing now. There's going to be incompletes. Before there used to be so many runs that you could stop the clock with the penalties, but now everybody's passing. And there's the game's longer to begin with, so they don't want to take it forever. So I think they made the change.
I don't remember it happening, but I'm happy it did. Mm-hmm. Clearly, that again with the amount of reviews, and now that you can review something that wasn't even called, Does that sound crazy?
That is
that
insane.
That means I'm reffing from the sidelines, right?
Yeah. You
What-
almost gotta have somebody exclusively watching and calling you, like, "Hey, should we review this?" Or like
I'm sure there are guys.
that
like
wasn't
baseball.
right. That wasn't interference on Marvin Jones. Guy put his arm right across his chest. Ball flies, and they're like, "Oh no, that's incomplete."
And then the hands to the face, whatever
Yeah,
that
we're
was.
not gonna
It
get
was at
started.
the end of the game. Some of that stuff is real. I don't know how, focused anyone might be on the intention of it. I don't think there's a lot of intention on it. But with all the ways that you can review a penalty, that they're still getting it wrong, Robert. It's
I
pissing
know.
me off. I mean, they are getting it wrong, and it's taking a time out of my busy day.
There's a quality to the refereeing that's just fallen off. And I was talking about this. I said, I don't know if it's because they know there could be reviews.
God, that's right here. You stole my line right there.
Sorry.
Right, let's call the penalty just so.
Right.
It could be.
It's almost
maybe
like-
I should throw it
right.
just in case.
It's
that
almost like
they review it.
it's
Better, yeah.
And you really didn't see that with the umpires in baseball when they because the umpires in baseball obviously you could review a play now,
Yeah.
but the umpires really didn't fall into this. I'm just going to call the guy safe and they can replay it.
Yeah.
Now it's almost like the refs are like, I'm calling it. All right, it's a turnover, and then you want to review it. That's your business. Or
Yeah.
turnovers automatically get reviewed.
All this stuff on the edge. It's a catch.
Right,
Right?
it's a catch, and then you review it if you
No,
want.
nothing.
So it's almost like they throwing their hands up, like, we're just gonna call it whatever it is. It is. If you want to change it, you got your opportunity. Good luck to you.
Right.
It's really it's a noticeable quality drop off with the refs, and it's hurting the game. I mean,
It's hard to
you
watch
know,
some of these guys.
everybody's
It's
talking
so
about it
long.
now, and started last year in the playoffs, and it's kind of played through the first part of the season. I don't know how you can change it during the season.
There's going to be some growing pains with this review system, but we have to start having, like you said, having the guys that have the yellow flag, just do your job and not the booth.
Yeah,
Don't let the
don't
booth do the
worry
job.
about. It's almost like they worry about the review. The review's going to come, so it doesn't really matter if we get the call right or not. And that really isn't the way to approach the whole situation.
If I'm a ref, I don't want any of my calls to go to the booth, by the way. 'cause
Absolutely.
if they don't, guess what?
Well,
I'm probably a pretty good ref.
Well, number one, these refs get graded. They get graded after
yeah.
every game, and then they get raises and promotions based on the grading. And they get Super Bowls, they get playoff games, they become head. There's different levels of referee. You become a head. What do you call it? I don't even know.
Yeah, head linesman.
Head linesman,
head
whatever.
linesman.
You get promoted.
Judge,
There's promotions
there's
at
judge,
stake.
Judge.
There's promotions at stake, and your job's at stake. If you're that bad, they'll get a referee from the college game and replace you. So they are getting graded. It ain't like they're just being willy-nilly. They get the jobs forever, and nobody ever cares. It ain't like Supreme Court or something. What? Who said that out loud?
I think we crushed it.
It's. I don't know what you could do during the season, though. I don't know what you could do. They're going to have to look at
This
it.
year's the year we'll have to see.
Yeah,
That's
we'll
all
have
we
to
can
see.
say.
That's all.
Great call. Nice tag team on that
All
one.
right.
Sometimes we dress
Sometimes we're together.
Tag team wrestling partners. Sometimes we put on different masks and go head to head. That was a really great hamster cage. We'll finally one day, I promise you, get to the most important debate. Which one of us is prettiest? Maybe next week. Baker's Dozen next week.
Yeah.
Please tell your friends. Have them like our page. You
Check
like
us out.
Robert Keeps Keeler,
Yeah,
right?
well, who wouldn't
How
like
could
me?
you not like this guy?
How do you not like me?
We are doing it for you. And
right.
We're looking for promotion ourselves. We need to move up. We want to be on TV. Hall of Famer. We should both have trophies on our foreheads this moment. Thanks, Robert.
All right,
great
thank you.
show.
Thanks.
We'll be back next week. Tell your
We
friends.
will.
They'll be right down there. Have a great time, folks. We are out of here.
In my head.